Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Corporate Charity Championship. It's the Spring 2025 Finals for Marvel Rivals, sponsored by Amazon Luna. We've got an exciting best of 7 here in the Grand Finals for you, but before we get into all that action, I got to introduce the legend to my digital right here, Tugboat. How are we feeling, brother?
Feeling great, feeling great. Running it back with the CEA one more time, and I'm getting ready to see how these two teams have shaken out through the regular season, now in the grand finals.
Yeah, we talked about AIMD. They've had that upper run in the bracket there. They've been playing very well throughout the entirety of that season. So it was another epic victory that took a little bit of an early lead down into that lower bracket, but they've made their way back up here. They'll get an opportunity to play AIMD one more time, where they met in round 2 of this playoffs. AIMD came out 3-1 in that one, but it is a best of 7, however, today.
It's a very, very good point. A little bit of a longer series, so perhaps a little bit of a longer leash to whoever might go down in Maps 1 and Maps 2. Now, they also faced the regular season. That was in round 2, and it was a 3-0 going the same exact way, Hot Sauce, but that was also a long time ago, and at least an Emma Frost ago.
Yeah, there you go. There's been many changes, I think, since then. So certainly a great opportunity here for another epic victory to, just show that hard work that they've been putting in here. And now an opportunity to topple the Giants that have already taken care of them once. So heading in toward that grand final, of course, Ethos Group unfortunately had to step out early. They got 3rd place. They got at least $360 for their respective charity.
Yeah, fantastic stuff, right? A bunch of money on the line here, and again, donated in the names of these players to the respective charities of choice for the side of AMD. That is the Quest to Conquer Cancer, Hot Sauce, as well as the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. So, working on cancer research, literally trying to make the world a better place. Similar situations on the other side here for Epic Systems. This is Doctors Without Borders, so again, very healthcare focused, Hot Sauce.
Hey, love to see it. Like I said earlier, we've done a couple of these already the other day for Counter-Strike and Rocket League, some of the other titles, but we're all winners here. There's no losers when we're out here having a good time for such a great cause. But that being said, Tuggy, we're going to head right on into the character ban and protect screen here. So.
Yes, so yeah, just to talk a little bit about this format and give an idea of what to expect, there will be a ban, then protect, then ban, protect here. There will be a 3rd ban round after that one, so we're going to see a few characters protected, a few characters banned. I think that, okay, so first off, we're taking a little Star-Lord action and Hawkeye off the board. Hawkeye, I feel like, makes a little bit more sense than Star-Lord. Protecting Magneto also making a lot of sense.
Yeah, I guess it kind of boils down to maybe these teams familiar with what some of these other players use. I think Star-Lord with Adam Warlock can be very viable. We see it with the 3 strategist compositions as well, but not a typical ban that we often see. Psylocke, the Protect comes in. I don't know if you had a chance to catch any of the pro scene recently. Psylocke, 100 Thieves, Virtus Pro, a lot of these teams really enjoying the Psylocke play.
Yeah, when you're talking about that new team up as well, just making that character so much stronger. Magneto, a frequenter of the starting lineups. Taking a look at our next ban here, we'll not see Loki, we'll not see Scarlet Witch as well, so maybe in a little Magneto Scarlet Witch combo a couple months ago. We'll definitely not be seeing Scarlet Witch here.
Yeah, now paired up with Doctor Strange. So a lot of really good viable comps out there. Obviously, Bruce Banner has been great. I mean, Namor with the Bruce has been something that can be devastating, kind of help with some of those dive compositions. We see Deadlock sucks up there. I believe him and Finger coming from the Overwatch side of things, but equally as talented in this. That Spider-Man can be really tough to deal with, and Jeff as well. I mean, some of these backline strategists, there's so many different compositions and strategies that I think we're seeing come into play now.
I think I'm reading this note a little differently. Multiple top 3 finishes in CEA Overwatch 2. Everyone but Finger and Deadlock Sucks came from Overwatch. So I have to wonder where a player named Deadlock Sucks came from, right? Maybe spending a little bit of time over there. Bans come in. One surprises me, one does not.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Yeah, Dark Passenger looking to play that rocket down there, so maybe just wanting to take that out of their hands, but certainly the Bruce Banner does not surprise me, so we'll get to see what they lock in. I mean, Torch He's been a very viable asset to many teams. Squirrel Girl, I personally really enjoy, but Squirrel Girl has a tough time against not only Torch but Storm as well. So we might see Hooms kind of swapping off of that relatively early.
Homesteadov. That's what I'm looking at right here, right? Man, oh man, I gotta love the grammar there, which I believe is actually like correct, like grammatically correct. Who knows? Who knows? Personally, man after my own heart, Blue Crimson here, the captain for Epic Systems on the Adam Warlock. Love to see this player get a little bit more love in the higher end of these competitions, right?
Yeah, I mean, certainly in the right hands can be a very valuable asset. But, you know, we take a look at some of the compositions here. I think, you know, Penny obviously very good on defense as well. It's a little tougher to navigate on offense, but still can be done. That Magneto, you have that front line, the shield to kind of mitigate some of that damage, the Meteor in as well. And so, I mean, I like both compositions. Again, I wouldn't be surprised unless they have a lot of early success with this Squirrel Girl that we do see a swap.
Interesting stuff. We'll see how this goes. Perhaps the ban Star-Lord coming for the Blue Crimson. They knew that they were going to be playing Adam Warlock. Who knows? Who knows? They're just theory crafting at this point. Trying to get a chip-in damage a little bit early. And this Blue Crimson on the Adam Warlock, yeah, knows that there's going to be flankers over from that side. You have such a wide area to that right over there.
Of angles to deal with right now, just trying to contest this point, so it slows down the pressure a bit. Storm into the sky, continues to pepper down some shots. Adam Warlock finding the heals, but supplementing the damage here as well. Taco's going to find the first one. Deadlock picks up a Q as well, and with that, we see AMD beginning to stagger a little bit here, stumbling back. They're going to have to look to regroup and maybe get a second opportunity.
Yeah, tries to get out of there, not going to happen. Boar taken down by his counterpart here, and this is not going to be a wise push, really, from this Spider-Man character. Yeah, Homesteadov going to be taken down from the air.
I think I'm just going to stick with Hooms for now. It might be a little bit easier.
I like that.
But, yeah, already been taken out here, so we're getting, we're just kind of seeing him chill. I mean, it was AIMD who's had a lot of success in that upper bracket in the regular season, but right now, I mean, we see another epic victory, making a nice stand here, really preventing this pressure and the push. Dialog trying to get into that back line, but hasn't been able to build that ult just yet.
You gotta say, Blue Crimson, that's what we're looking for as Adam Mains. You wanna dive me? How about I give you some of what you were trying to give me just a second ago? Doing a fantastic job with this and more. Now here's the res will be up soon. Will they opt for it? They will. Out in the thick of things as well. A very courageous res. But it's gonna hit here after the AIMD squad is just a little bit segmented off here, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, they've had a little trouble on this initial push, and they've got a little bit further left to go here, but now onto the Psylocke, has the Dance of Death as she dances around. Pigment finds the first Nova, now gaining a two-piece here as well. They find the double, but Taco, Crimson on the revive here as well, brings themselves back. Finger able to disable and take out the Psylocke, and with that, we see that domino effect happening here. Hooms on that Punisher did make the swap, but still not quite the success they're looking for.
Kind of seems like that big bursty damage coming out of this blue squad out of Epic Systems between the Adam Warlock, the Storm, obviously the Human Torch, and what is it, 70 shots per mag volley there for Taco Beans. Unsurprising that the you know, healing over time aspects of this Luna Snow, Invisible Woman on the other side just cannot keep this up.
Yeah, and this woman, one of the best healers, really. That ult can nullify a lot of things, including the Storm Torch ult combo here. We see Torch popping it early. Storm just at 60%, but they find a couple picks, and again, the domino effect. Finger, Pigment, both finding picks. There's two left standing here for AIMD, and after so much success in the regular season, in this postseason run, they find themselves stumbling just a little bit here.
They really do. This first push here on Yggdrasil is always never going to be easy, really, but they have not had not had an easy time. Excuse me. They're really doing a fantastic job on the defensive side here. In a lot of parts, this is from Finger. We have not seen this Penny ultimate out here ever yet. Here comes the across. This is the nice part of having a shield. That's the first. If we can get Taco Beans, no, they don't have that mag ultimate quite yet, and this was probably going to be enough for AIMD. It is after the tanks do fall. Only Pigment Deadlock sucks left right here. Will this be enough? Definitely not. You can't get that done against tanks.
Yeah, I mean, they started off nicely. Hooms popping the Punisher ult, finding a two-piece of their own, but Epic, they've been consistent here, eventually finding that torch as they look to pressure on, make the final push, but again, the ult comes in and Doctor Strange brings them right back.
Nicely done. Okay, that's why you include this player in here. A fantastic first pick against this Luna Snow. Not that they had ultimate, but you're not going to see that anytime soon. Huge hit against Hooms. That's going to be enough mag volley down on top of that. The Psylocke ultimate finds a little bit there, but Blue Crimson, do they have their res back? Well, they're not going to use the ultimate there. No res coming in as Gaming's going to find pretty much everything. There's a big res, but not a whole lot of healing on the other side. Pigment, Blue Crimson done dusted. The DPS here for AIMD get a second chance to feed.
Now, the overtime fuse has been lit for quite some time. They're still trying to finish off this final one, but the Eye of Agamotto could make it very difficult here. They've kind of staggered them out just a bit, so they'll be able to capture that first checkpoint. They'll add a couple minutes to the clock here as well, and this second checkpoint's a little bit smaller, but a lot more close corridors, and there's a lot of good choke points here.
Yeah, so the Eye of Agamotto comes in there just a little bit late, right? Maybe a hero ago, definitely a healer ago. Might have gone forth and really cooked something up delicious, but not really going to hit right there and going to be reset.
The Cosmos heals you.
See if they can navigate through the distilled path here. We see Ag in the back. This woman just trying to keep everybody up. I think Hooms over toward this Punisher certainly has been a little bit more of a valuable asset, kind of deal with some of these flying characters of Epic. And so we'll see if it continues to work for him. We do see an ult on deck here ready to flex for Silence.
See if this one goes. Whom's the first to fall for their squad, for this Epic Systems squad. Psylocke turns their attention skyward, and Pikmin just absolutely feast down bottom. You really have to be ready to take a one-on-one with a Storm player, and especially a Storm player like Pikmin. Flirting with their ult now, gotten it. This should be Epic's defense that is stabilized completely. Also, I thought this was Epic Games. It is not. This is Epic Systems. They make healthcare IT, including the MyCare system, for anybody knowledgeable on that.
Yeah, we're for the MyCare. My family and I all use that, actually. With Magneto, the Meteor in, coming out, looking to drop a bomb down here as well. Luna trying to keep everybody alive as we see the Torch and Storm combo coming in. There is a ton of damage. Paco, the 2K Gaming finds a consolation prize on the mix, and they continue to duke it out here.
Not many ultimates to speak of. Deadlock Sucks gets out of the source of danger really, really quickly. Super low on the Emma Frost, and she cannot stay alive. Taco Bean with a 1-2 punch to really just completely put their foot on the neck of this original drive here. They should all be able to get out, and they do. Yeah, so between the ultimate and then Taco Bean's finding chip damage on the end, here comes the Punisher ultimate.
The judge, jury, and the executioner. A hailstorm of bullets thrown downfield. We see Finger the first to fall here, and with that, they look to create that domino effect. Psylocke onto Magneto. They've got a two-player advantage, and now pressuring forward. It's going to force Storm away here, and with that, they don't want to risk it being staggered, but they're trying to find at least a last-second contention here to hopefully stall this push out.
Oh man, so Blue Crimson gets the first res, can't quite get out to the second there, so Fincher's going to have to come back and can't quite work on their ultimate quite yet. Penny Ultimate should be there soon, that's a lot of sustain though, 4.5 meters or so away. Nice headshot right there. Healer's on the other side and the Invisible One is no more. This is probably going to be the end, especially if Fincher is able to get that that down. Now we have... Maybe not going to happen. Nah, it's physical damage here from the Invisible Woman. You cannot eat those projectiles, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, it was a good attempt. It certainly was for not lack of trying here, but I'm a bit surprised. It's been AIMD who's had a lot of this success, not only throughout the regular season, but through the postseason here as well. And another epic victory comes out with a very nice initial stand. So we'll see. We talk about it. Consistency is key, and consistency is king. So they'll have to play really well through this full best of 7, but they're already starting off on the right foot.
They really are. Really are. All the pick bans, of course, remain the same. Flip the script right here. What we will probably not see is a Penny on attack. I mean, there's obviously ways to get value here. Now, this is what I was looking for. A little Hella on the other side. Obviously, some really, really fantastic team-ups if they so choose to go with that.
'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. 'Cause they so choose to go with that. Yeah, Hella's just another one of those great hit scan players too that can really help kind of deal with the Storm, the Torch, the Iron Mans, those kind of
30
high
seconds
flying
before you
players
attack.
as well.
Get
So I think
ready.
it's a great pick coming out here from Nova. Boar still on the Magneto as well, and so not too much changes on the side of AIMD, but I think Coombs is actually swapping roles, heading over toward that tank role this time.
Interesting. So Emma Frost on this side, classic team up over there. Looking at the other side, so not really going to see many changes here. Still opting for the aerial assault for this Epic Systems squad. Down low, in your face will be this Magneto and this Penny Parker. Getting value with that with her little colony thing can be tough on offense. We'll see how they go.
Yeah, you really got to try to work that left side, even try to get in behind him a bit, or put it up if there's a kind of an anti-dive situation, but that's not really the case other than Psylocke here, so we'll see exactly what they opt to do. They're making a nice initial push here, but I think most teams give up most of this space until this first initial corner.
Yeah, and on this corner is one of those places they have that initial bombs can be placed. Well, they don't even need it. They're giving the corner free right here. Free Costco sample, air, rain from the sky. This is going to be so much easier of a time getting taken than they did on the defensive side of this initial Yggdrasil push. Wow, yeah, I'm honestly a little bit surprised how easy this was.
Don't turn back now.
Especially since we look back and we see that AIMD has won a couple 3-0s against this squad. They won a 3-1 as well, and maybe Epic over here doing their homework. They've been putting time in off screen, looking to see and make sure it pays off here. Punisher dangerously low, has to be careful. And honestly, this Adam Warlock has been a menace at the moment for AIMD.
Yes. Absolutely. Once that Punisher goes down in a turret, you know you're going to get free real estate there. Another one. Fantastic stuff. And honestly, Blue Crimson has been playing as aggressively as I want to play in my games. It just never really seems to work out for me, Hot Sauce. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, not as a healer anyway. It's people like that. They get you excited to play the game. You get out there, and then you don't quite have the same results. So maybe we're lacking a little bit of that skill, but certainly great to see it here and showcase all the wonderful talent at the Corporate Charity Championships. As Epic looks to topple the Giants that have formally knocked them off, and they're doing a great job. They don't have two more to go.
Now, realizing that Cloak and Dagger was just going to get a little bit farther out on their Dagger dance, not going to be enough on that one. A huge reposition of this Magneto. Taco Beans stuck in a bad place right here, but even with that Invisible Woman ult up, they still going to kind of know on the outsides of these. The melee to finish it off, and we're flirting with about 6-7 meters as of right now. Another hit, another reposition. The CC comes out, and that might have actually saved it. 4 minutes and 15 seconds from Epic Systems. They put a fantastic foot forward in game number 1. Number 3 seed demolishing the number 2 seed. Well, granted, just within one single game.
Yeah, we don't have a lot to look from yet, but I mean, we take a look back and at the history overall, I think it's like 9-1, right? We've had 2 3-0s and 1 3-1 in favor of AIMD. So already matching their previous performance combined. Another epic victory finds just that, an epic victory. As you take a look at some of those stats, and honestly, I got to take a quick peek at this Adam Warlock. I mean, 13k heals, 8k damage. Definitely a little lower on the heals, but I think what they lacked in that, we saw some crazy revives and just really good at supplementing in that additional damage.
It's some of those intangible stats, right? The res there, what it allowed for res on the other side, right? If you pair it with that Mantis, Star-Lord, obviously we didn't see that one, but the damage right here is really what I'm looking at, 8,000 or so, just a little bit less than their Penny Parker, which is obviously a lot in the way of final eliminations. Those Penny Parker traps, those little bouncing mines, man, that get you every times.
They do. Well, we're going to have to wait to see where we go for the next one, but I'm a little bit surprised by this, Tugboat, just based on what we've seen from the regular season and the postseason.
Entirely fair. Entirely fair. Like you said, like a 9-1 series record going the way of this AMD squad. They've done this several different times before, but we'll see this and more, I believe, after a very short break. FBI Tugboat Man Hot Sauce here for the Corporate Esports Association Charity Championship.
ゼロ号機と初号機は開発過程のゼロ度タイプテストタイプ。訓練なしのあなたなんかにいきなりシンクロするのがそのいい証拠よ。これこそ実戦用に作られた世界初の本物のエヴァンゲリオンなのよ。テストタイプね。
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Corporate Charity Championship Spring 2025 Finals, sponsored by Amazon Luna. We got one match out of the way, but we got plenty more to go, Tugboat.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We will hop on into the format now. Yes, so for maps here, after the round has been completed, the loser will pick either the server location or they will pick the map right here. So we'll get those confirmed in just a little bit. Obviously, if everybody's within the same, East Coast, West Coast, Pacific servers right here, logic would follow. They would go forth and pick their favorite map, Hot Sauce.
I feel it. And I don't know if chat out there is maybe trolling me a little bit, but they were saying to wish Boar out here a happy birthday. So if it does happen to be Boar's birthday from AIMD, we certainly do wish him a big birthday. Maybe they can grab a birthday dub, but they find themselves on the back foot here after game number 1. So we'll see what they can do as we get ready for the second one.
That's true. It's true. Epic Systems, the number 3 seed coming into that's proving that seeding is nothing more than some writing down on some paper, Hot Sauce. Yes, the AMD squad has honestly trounced this team, this Epic Systems team. Regular season, postseason, all of it has gone the way of AMD thus far. There's only been one map win from Epic Systems. Well, that's exactly what they got here in the grand finals.
And already we see that torch band coming out almost immediately. And I had a feeling that we were probably going to see that. I know at least when I play as well, we see a lot of those torch bands. He's just someone that can be very, very difficult to deal with at the moment.
Entirely fair. You throw a storm up in the air, like we saw a little bit earlier. Might even, even just taking out one of those really, really reduces the ability of both of them, right? I think that the lack of a solid hit scan player down on the bottom, that was like putting a lot of time into that player and consistently just getting that AA gun going, right? That anti-aircraft gun going, was part of the reason why this high-flying squad, the DPS core over here for the Epic Systems squad, was able to go forth and really just play their own game all the way through, mostly free real estate.
We see that penny ban, I think, coming out as well, protecting the Star-Lord this time and the Hawkeye as well. So it's interesting to see that what was previously banned now being scooped up right away.
We'll see how this does continue. Oh, there you go. Just had to click on it. My bad. So, Penny, Rocket done again. The Rocket was, so the changes post-patch from his ultimate, right? It's 150 max bonus shields, 100 per second, if my memory serves. Now giving him a defensive side to his ultimate. Now, the question goes to you, Hot Sauce. Does this make Rocket Raccoon too well-rounded of a healer?
I think he's really good. I mean, you have the ability to heal multiple people. You can bounce around the corners and kind of not even be in that battlefield. You've got the BRB beacon as well. And so he has a lot of valuable assets to the toolkit there as well. But I still feel like maybe Inviswoman is equally as competitive. I mean, her defensive ult can counter a lot of ults. But yeah, I mean, Raccoon, in my opinion, has always been strong, maybe a little underutilized, but certainly that much stronger with those changes.
Yeah, that extra bonus health, keep them through. A lot of different ultimates, right? A pre-thrown mag ult, right? Something that does not get to absorb as much as possible at that full 4 seconds. Obviously, nothing that's going to help against something like an Iron Man up top, and the ban comes in. Okay, so they are tired of Blue Crimson playing onto this. Oh, no, hang on. I got this backwards, right?
No, you're right.
Oh, okay. No, no. Excuse me. Yeah, so they're tired of Blue Crimson playing onto that Adam Warlock. I gotta say, this makes sense a little bit.
You know, Groot, I'm a big fan of banning Groot. He bothers me so much all the time, and nobody shoots his walls. I'm the only guy doing it. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
But so, it's interesting though. I think Groot is another very, very strong tank. I think sometimes people underestimate the damage and the healing that he can do alone as well. Whom's back onto the Squirrel Girl, maybe now that they don't have so much high flying action over here.
Stay strong.
I think what really did it for me and what melted my mind is that this game was out for like 2 or 3 months and people still didn't know that some of those walls can do damage, right? It's like, guys, please, where's this damage coming from? Your back is against it right now, right? Like, jeez Louise. Hawkeye gonna get featured in this one. Deadlock Sucks gonna be playing this one, trying to find some of those crucial
The
shots.
battle starts in 5.
Yeah, and again, I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to say Deadlock Sucks here today, but I don't. Maybe it's just my old head here, but it makes me giggle every time.
It really does. It does. So they'll have 1.5 shield tanks here between the Emma Frost, Invisible Woman walls, and the mag. Not a whole lot left right there. Trying to land that shot does against, I believe, the other mag. As the Star-Lord battle is going to go the way of AMD early, or AIMD early, excuse me.
Emma Frost, another one of these frustrating characters, so to speak. They've got the Star-Lord they wanted here as well, and so looking to pepper in some damage toward the back line. They've done a good job of backing off Epic here early, and man, are they eating up a ton of space. So already some big changes, I think, coming out for AIMD.
Yeah, honestly, a great job here from Blue Crimson, Caldair. Paying attention to that high-flying player, right? They can get a lot done. Well, those are traded DPS players. It seems the Emma Watson on Emma Watson duel almost goes the way of HBI here. It's going to be some nice Squirrel Girl shots hoisted in from behind that'll eventually take out that tank. Here comes the invisibility. There goes the Hawkeye, excuse me, and that's a fantastic grab. Did you just watch that? Through mid-air while they're invisible. Fantastic stuff.
Love to see it. Hopefully it was intentional. HB coming up with some big plays here as well. Hey, sometimes we'll take what we can get, but we do see at least one ult on deck for AIMD. 2 on the side of Epic, but they've lost Pikmin early here, and now there's an opportunity for AIMD to finish this early push. The KO comes through, and they're looking to add more time on the clock.
Once again, it's just so hard to get value from that Emma Frost, or from that Magneto ultimate. My goodness, not hard to get value from a headshot there if your Deadlock Sucks. Fantastic stuff. And the air as well, but yeah, so I mean, part of playing mag, right? I have a solid bit of time. Pretty much just mag and Adam Warlock myself, hot sauce. Not sure exactly who you've been playing.
I play just about everything, but I tend to lean in toward the DPS or the strategist side myself. But I sometimes I feel bad.
How this goes is this last corner does come.
Anyone willing to help out?
Couple ults on the other side.
They have
this space
indeed.
and really taking
Now they'll
that
be
pressure to the fight.
We're gonna get this up just as quickly as possible.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Corporate Charity Championship Spring 2025 Finals, sponsored by Amazon Luna. We do apologize for the technical difficulties, but we believe we've got it all ironed out. Now, Tugboat, while we were off stream a little bit there, though, it was another epic victory, able to squeak out a second win against AIMD. So all of a sudden, they've already got more wins against this team than they've had all regular season or postseason combined. We might be looking at an upset here today.
That's entirely fair. That is entirely fair. What Epic Systems saying that we know on paper what's supposed to happen. We know what's on the docket. Well, I don't go out to the theater right here because they're putting on a show of their own. 2-0 lead as of right now in a situation for a team that was able to take one single map across 3 best of 5s, one from the regular season, and then now twice here within the finals. Crazy stuff so far. A double elimination tournament yielding this situation after the EG squad. EG assembled the Ethos group. Unfortunately, number 1 seed had to forfeit here. Hey, they all have jobs. That's the entire point of what we're doing here with the CEA, right? The Corporate Esports Association goes forth, puts on these esports competitions for players that are actually actively working at the various companies that they have their team name assigned to, right? Obviously, AMD, and then Epic Systems, not Epic Games. Epic Games makes games like Fortnite and Rocket League. Epic Systems makes IT healthcare like the MyCare software. Is that correct, Hot Sauce?
Yeah, the my chart, I think, is technically what it's called. But, you know, I hear you. And yeah, honestly, my family and I also use that. But again, congratulations, as you mentioned, on Ethos. So they were able to secure at least $360 for their charity. Now, on the other side of things here, first place, a little more than $2,100. But second place isn't going home empty-handed either. $1,080 for the second place position there. So a lot of great money to be won here for a lot of wonderful charities. But as we had mentioned, I mean, another epic victory, stealing 2 in a row. Of course, that magic number is for AIMD. Can they find a way to battle back? This time we're going to be heading toward a domination map of Hell's Heaven.
Yes, Yggdrasil, then Spider Colony there for maps 1 and 2. As you mentioned, both maps that would go the way of Epic Systems. We'll see if Hell's Heaven is a little bit of a different story. That is what the kind of escort in the previous. We'll see how this is going to change up right here. And ultimately, finally, if we're going to see some massive composition changes, obviously we were not able to get the last half of that game number 2 here, but the stage has been set and we kind of know what to expect from certain players. We've also seen plenty of bans coming in to play as counter picks in their own right.
Yeah, and the nice thing about domination is it's a little inception, right? We get a best of 3 within this best of 7 that we got going on. So whether we're on the Frozen Airfield, the Super Soldier Factory, or the Eldrick Monument, I'm sure both of these teams are hoping to close it out in a 2-0 fashion.
Yes, and shout out to Hot Sauce for remembering those names. All of these various maps, their sub-maps, their best of 3s within best of 7s within maps and stuff like this. Sometimes all the names, just a little bit too much for FBI Tug, but they're coming at me a little bit too fast. I'm an old man here now, Hot Sauce. Big shout out for remembering all of the proverb. That's what it is. That's what it is. I was drawing that one out, giving you some rope to let us know right here, but fantastic stuff nonetheless. More prepared than I am. I think that's what you're saying, Hot Sauce.
Hey, you know, you said it, not me. No, I'm just hey, I know how incredibly busy you are. I've seen you out at a ton of recent lands and always doing wonderful stuff for both the higher tier scene and the scholastic scene, from middle school, high school to collegiate. So, you know, I know you equally have been very busy. We appreciate your time here today, and it's always a pleasure to get into the booth and be able to shout with you a bit.
Hot Sauce literally coming off of a cast. We're working again tomorrow, and he's trying to say that I'm the busy one here, people. All right, let's hop into these ban protects here. So we take a look. We've seen AIMD plenty of times just flash the Human Torch across like 3 different players. The similar response over here for Jeff the Landshark. Don't think we're going to be seeing any Jeff here, though, Hot Sauce.
No, and it's funny because they flash the torch, but they often ban the torch first as well. And so, you know, maybe a little torch roulette, I guess. But we will see that protect coming in for Penny this time. So I think, you know, it was Finger who's been rocking that Penny time and time again. Didn't have that luxury last time. It was banned away. So I probably expect something similar here.
Here comes the protect here from Epic onto that Penny. So definitely going to be seeing this one. Now the protect for the Raccoon as well. So really, Raccoon's been targeted on the other side of that pick ban so far. Well, it'll be protected here from AIMD.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the a little extra difference maker. You know, we saw in that last one, I felt like AIMD was doing a really great job initially in the beginning there. And unfortunately, we didn't get to see how it played out. But Epic, I mean, must have come up with one heck of a stop to kick things off. They've got 2 wins in that column up there. And as we said before, the magic number is 4. So realistically, AIMD needs to find a way to win this game. You really don't want to allow another Epic victory to go up to match series and championship point this early into the series.
A lot of tanks, or at least tanky DPS getting taken out here. Take a look at our protect phases, excuse me. But you're 100% right, Hot Sauce, man. These best of 7 series, like, they feel long, but they'll definitely feel longer when there's maps going down the other way. Dude, AMD drops this one. They're down 3-0 in the series. So we all know that is requiring of the full 4 map comeback, which is such a difficult road to undertake here within the great game of Marvel Rivals.
It can be. I mean, really in any game, we talk about the difficulty of a sweep, the reverse sweep, even that much tougher, as we do see the protects coming in toward Adam Warlock this time, making sure to get rid of Groot. Loki's been protected on the other side, and we'll wait for that final ban to come on through.
Yeah, so that's a quick one there. Star-Lord taken out. This kind of makes sense because this allows them to take a little bit of the value away. If we see kind of like that same Blue Crimson performance on that Adam Warlock is what I'm saying on the other side over there for AMD. Nothing looking as of right now. It has been protected here by AIMD, but maybe that was just kind of like a throwing them off the scent a little bit here, right? Or protect Adam Warlock, make them think they might be running the 1v with that character, and they opt not to, right? Maybe a little bit of mental trickery coming in here.
I have to agree, because otherwise I don't see why you would protect it and not play it. So I think you probably hit the nail on the head with that one. But AIMD, I mean, things are getting a little bit dangerous. They've played so well throughout the regular season and a phenomenal postseason run here as well. Looking to power on through, but a little bit of a uphill battle here. They're really going to have to work to earn this one.
Really are. I mean, AIMD did drop maps in this tournament, right? That was the Revengers RHT team, excuse me, in the very first round of this double elimination tournament. There in the semis, they dropped one here too. Another epic victory for this epic system squad. But it was in EG Assemble, the squad they saw in the winners finals up there, that just did not go forth and yield anything but, of course, that AIMD victory. Now, EG Assemble did have to forfeit their number 1 seed, did have to forfeit against other epic victories, so they might have had a little bit of a easier path to here, but they have not acted like it since, my friend.
Now, they've certainly been lighting up the battlefield thus far, and already Finger on this penny looking to get out toward the contention area, maybe get this trap set up a bit early so they can gather another early capture point. So I think Finger's done a great job playing around these spider traps, really utilizing the character to a T, but it's Taco Beef with an early pick on Devore yet again.
You see a lot of this character, right? A lot of Iron Fist here. It's not so much that their kit was like massively changed. This should go the way of Epic. I'm honestly not 100% sure why AMD. Yeah, I'm not really sure why AMD is still fighting this one. They're only going to be going up ultimate charge down the other way. You have to just admit when something's done and dusted. And I mean, 2 tanks plus this Mr. Fantastic on the other side, like the huge kind of just bunker up kind of capabilities that Loki can provide as well. You gotta realize when this one's over with. But now, new lease on life as this Iron Fist gets a second shot.
To the back line, looking to throw some fists and go toe-to-toe, bow-to-bow, and now we'll have to meditate just a bit, look for some health. The Invisible Woman ult does come out, and that'll allow them to continue to press forward. Epic has done a great job of managing the ult economy here really well against this AIMD squad.
Dude, I've been both the penny and that loot on the other side, right? Putting down your traps, right? Down your bunker, just trying to get that through. That's a lot of damage there from Epic out early, and this should be another team fight win wholeheartedly their way. As I say that, Finger does get dusted. Here comes the Invisible Woman ultimate right down, and Deadlock sucks, especially on a player like Loki. Should have just gotten out of dodge while the getting was good. While I was saying all that, though, Pigment there with a quad.
Coming up with some big kills. Boar still on this Iron Fist, trying to make something happen, and We'll have to wait to regroup with the squad here, or at least allow them to initially push. When you're finding those dive compositions, you don't want to go in too early and get kind of jumped on. So you need your team to kind of create that initial disruption and then try to go in that back line, see if you can pick off a squishy or two.
Speaking of, here's Spinger. Going to be getting all these traps all the way around. One of the few ultimates you can really find value from not actively being in a team fight as well. Came back the other side. That's a solid bit of attention there against the Emma Frost, but it'll be the Invisible Woman shield paired with the other that'll should be enough. Real brawling capability here has Emma Frost. He takes to the front lines, gets low, and still has no fear. Nice double there. So Boar perhaps getting this one. A lot more value here in game number 3. That was Boar on the Magneto earlier, wasn't it? Game number 1?
Yeah, it was. And now he finds a triple, maybe looking for a bit more. Iron Fist is another one of those equally frustrating characters when played well, and they just kind of got that heat-seeking capability. Even if you're up into the sky, they lock on, they continue to hunt you down and just hit you with punches and bunches.
It seems we have company.
This ring down from the skies. It sounds like a metal song here, Hot Sauce.
I'm all for it.
Time for some
Yes, sir.
fireworks.
Yes, sir. This is Finger forward now, missing a couple of those stuns now. And immediately, that's the thing. You can just kind of put these traps up and whatnot, and well, until Ultimate can usually take down this Iron Fist. And I say usually because he is popping off right now. 2 down, though, on the other side for this mag, but they'll be left out in the lurch. Done, dusted, finito, and finished. And it's just a Mr. Fantastic on the other side. Team wipe against Epic Games.
Yeah, Iron Fist popping the living chi there and just going to town, fist to cuff, finds 3 and continues to throw down. So Iron Fist has been a big difference maker thus far. We'll see if they can continue to have success for Epic. I mean, they're at 99% already. AIMD has to find a way to win a couple fights in a row. And for Epic, they've got 3 ults on deck already. So it could make this next fight a bit tougher for AIMD.
Couple of ultimates online, but both of those are going to be those support ultimates here on both in the snow. Let's see the other one. Here comes the Psylocke. Should be enough from this rocket. No, it's not going to be enough. Always the ever tough kill, which is Captain America. Does get taken down from this one, so Epic going to have a tough time getting through this one. They know where that one's coming, and it's going to be a support the other way. Luna Snow's going to have her work cut out for her in the last little bit. Did use her power up here, and that's the Luna Snow done the other way! No more Iron Fist on this. The DPS core here for AMD going to be affected. Let's take a pick down the other way, so tank down. This is 99 and 99 Hot Sauce, and the AIMD is flirting with their first map win. Wait,
Yeah, coming down the wire here, but yeah, they find a lot of picks. They get the first sub-map under their belt, so they pressure forward here just a bit. And, well, now they only got to get one more to get that first tick in that win column there as we head on to the Frozen Airfield coming up next.
Love it. Compositionally, I actually really like the Captain America picks, and now going back on over towards the mag, left 50% towards their ultimate for Epic. I don't think there's really too much you have to change here for AIMD. Dark Pass right there.
30 seconds
I really
before
felt
you
like
attack.
did a
Get
great
ready.
job of getting this healing to Boar when they really need it. On the other side, Gaming is here. That's Psylocke. Going to be carrying ultimate in this next round out here as well. Doing a fantastic job just badgering this backline, really. Loki can be a tough kill sometimes, you know?
Yeah, you know, and honestly, we saw Epic, I think, expend 4 ults to the 2 of AIMD when they even won that fight. So honestly, AIMD certainly making some great swaps and changes here. You know, I think the Raccoon has been great for him. You toss in Emma Frost, you've got Iron Fist in the background, and they're just doing a good job of kind of keeping Epic a bit separated, looking from front to back line, creating a little bit of disruption there. So hopefully they can continue to do something similar, but I'm a little bit worried because Bruce and Namor combo is a pretty nasty one.
It really is. Those turrets were both just getting so much more valuable. Able to get out of that one. No early pick here granted for Gaming here. First time we're going to see this Bruce as well. Here comes the Emma Frost ultimate. We will not see Kildare anymore in this first team push. AIMD doing a fantastic job so far.
You are under my
We'll see if
protection.
Namor can get those squids out and make something happen here, but Again, a great job by AMD. I mean, sometimes it can be tough. We don't talk about the mental aspect enough, but when you've played so well, you find yourself down by 2 games. It can be frustrating. It doesn't appear to affect him just yet, though. They've done a good job of kind of taking that deep breath, finding that mental reset, and looking to pressure forward.
A nice deep freeze.
As Q here as well, doing a good job of getting damage in, or healing, excuse me, in edgewise. It really is at its most ideal. It's going to be a little bit tougher for Namor to get value off of those turrets inside. Now they realize this may not be the best place for him. This Iron Fist barely gets out. Boar, last little bit of their ultimate will be wasted as Kildare takes out one of their counterparts. Yes, the Emma Frost will be taken down. Mag can't quite get on the other side. No, he does. A little bit of lag right there. Kildare, Avenger, done dusted. Are gonna lose one. This Iron Fist is just going. Oh my goodness, dude! I've gotten stuck by this wall so many times on this map, man.
It can kill you as well. It can crush you, so you do have to be careful. I've seen, and I've had that mishap happen to me as well. But right now, Boar able to navigate those rough waters. We do see Deadlock here on this Namor. Has the Horn of Proteus up and ready to use as well, combined with the Hulk ult. So a chance for them to begin to pressure on. But look at how much percentage AIMD has already begun to build.
A good pull right there, at least an initial attempt to cross these front lines, 85% or so. And you have to pull this soon. Taco Beans, obviously the ideal is to get all this health down out here early, and they cannot have pulled that first. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so much harder to get value from this Hulk ultimate. Well, we'll see how this one goes. Maybe a grab onto this Rocket Raccoon, but it's no help whatsoever. It goes from 1,500 down to 0 immediately as Gaming is here picking apart this backline. AIMD flirting with their first map win.
I'd almost like to see Deadlock Sucks kind of go into the middle and get up top. There's a couple great flanking positions specifically on this map. You can put the Aquatic Dominions up there and really have a field day, but not going to be the case here as AIMD will finally break into that victory screen. They'll put a notch in the win column as they look to battle back. The series now currently sitting 2-1 in favor of another epic victory.
Yeah, so obviously not the last chance that they had to do this in this best of 7, magic number being 4, like you mentioned, but it definitely felt like it, right? Nobody wants to get down that last gas type territory here. So we take a look at our numbers and what exactly they do mean. Putting in the work, my goodness.
Yeah.
Askew right there, putting in the absolute work. 21,000 is about 5,000 more than Finger and Kildare had on the other side combined.
Yeah, it seemed like they were lacking a little bit of heals on the other side, but you toss in the Iron Fist, and maybe that's why. He was a menace in that background. 23 kills, only 3 deaths, 17. Yeah, that's right. 17 final hits, and that pentakill there as well. Almost able to snatch up the infamous Hexa there, but I felt like the whole team, this team synergy, they made some swaps up. They struggled a little bit in the beginning, but now they're finding their rhythm and beginning to find their stride.
Here's another stat coming at you. Boar with more final hits than the entirety of this losing squad combined, Hot Sauce. How about that for some numerical advantage?
I mean, that's Iron Fist for you, from the Dragon defense to the Living Chi, Harmony recoveries. Really got a bunch of assets in that toolkit there, that tool belt. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go there again, but honestly, we may just see a ban away from that Iron Fist on the other side of things.
You have to imagine they get 3 of them, as well as protects their own way. Ban does come first, so especially if you're looking at exactly how this Game 3 shook out and why this was possible for AIMD to not really, you can't even really call it a comeback if they were never really down, right? Like the very, very beginning of map number 1, obviously, like a lot of advantage over the way of Epic Systems, but it's pretty much just as simple as soon as, they switched to this Iron Fist, categorical change, categorical shift of momentum towards the way of AIMD, and Epic Systems, would never wrestle that one back.
Yeah, again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that Iron Fist ban come out relatively quickly in that next one, maybe not even giving AIMD an opportunity to protect that hero there. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Of course, for the other side now, another epic victory, are they going to opt to swap the servers? Or are they going to opt for that map pick? So we shouldn't have to wait too much longer to see exactly where we're headed.
Absolutely. Now, just checking out chat here, might have a little bit of an idea, and that would be the Hall of T'Challa. As they're saying they're ready to go, yeah, no breaks necessary here for these players. They came ready to compete here, Hot Sauce. That is exactly what is on their minds. Let's go run back through this series a little bit. Yggdrasil started this one off. Epic Systems was able to take that one down in 2-1 fashion. While we were watching this second map over there on Spider Colonies, what it was it was at least Epic System from what we got to watch pretty handedly with that victory. Don't have the exact numerical difference there at the end, but this second one, again, outside of the first 30% or so, right? The first third or whatever of that first sub map there, it was all AIMD and all AIMD all the time.
Yeah, now we're going to head to the, I believe, the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, or the Hall of Dajalia, as you mentioned earlier. This is Convergent map here. So a little bit of best of both worlds. You toss in kind of that domination aspect in the beginning where you have to unlock that payload, so to speak. And then once you get it unlocked, you begin to push it much like a convoy map. So this is another map that I typically enjoy as well. I kind of tend to stay around those payload maps personally, as far as my favorites go, but excited to see him back on this map.
I do have an affinity for that kind of King of the Hill type game mode, that domination game mode. We'll see how this one goes. And if there's anything different here, man, first ban does come out. Human Torch will not be played for the side of Epic Systems. I feel like this Epic Systems pick has to be one of two things, unless they keep things standard. Well, that was not what I was looking at as standard. Standard would have been Groot, right? Standard may have been Spider-Man. They choose Doctor Strange.
Yeah, we see. I mean, AIMD I think has banned Torch almost every time first, and really another epic victory. Pretty much the same ban, especially after game one. So we see that protect on toward Penny Finger. Certainly very, very comfortable over there. Now, do they protect that Iron Fist? Yes, they do. And I think that's a wise decision, because we really saw a ton of success in the hands of Boar playing that Iron Fist.
And really, if you think about the succession of ban, protect, right? I feel like you have to pick this one early. Do you really feel like Human Torch is going to be their first protect phase, given that they only get 2 of them? Or does it make more sense that they would protect that one, given that your first pick would have been, maybe even should have been, Iron Fist? So I guess I could see logic either way as I kind of talk it out to myself.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like Torch is one of the best players or characters in Marvel Rivals right now. He can be very, very difficult to deal with. Now, Iron Fist does do a good job at dealing with him, but I think maybe they don't even want to allow them to have that pressure. You know, since we've banned away Torch, we don't really see him picking Storm. They were really kind of going for that team up, so they really kind of nullify 2 problems, or, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak.
Now, if I'm looking at what plays against this Iron Fist, obviously just against like any diver, Namor is not a terrible decision, and we have not seen Hulk get banned either. So possible situation there for that is if we are looking at counter picks on the other side, and we do see AIMD go back to the well that was their Iron Fist pick. Protect comes in for Luna Snow for the side of AIMD, not against it whatsoever. We really haven't seen too many bans for these healers so far. I'm trying to think if we've seen any bans for healers so far outside of the Rocket Raccoon in map 2.
Yeah, we see Raccoon here again. I think Luna was banned in the first series, but after that, not again. We do see that protect here for the Adam Warlock, so most likely Blue Crimson looking to get back on that player. That ban for Groot coming in at the end, and I feel like they're comfortable letting this Bruce Banner Namor combo slip through, because even though it went through, we saw Epic try to utilize it. I felt like they kind of made that pick a little bit too late in the round, but it seemed like they didn't even have as much success with it. Namor wasn't really trying to get those off angles, get up on that high ground, use those aquatic dominions way up high where it's tough, you know, to target for the opposing team. So I think that's maybe why they're comfortable allowing that Bruce to slip on through.
That makes sense. They really just did not really seem to get any value with that Hulk. Like, yes, the Hulk player got the support that they wanted, but especially when it came time to Ultimate, there was just nothing coming down the pipeline. Now we have our first situation of this as well. Epic Systems here choosing the no ban here for the 5th pick, right? There's a lot of strategy in this one involved as well, like, right? Like, you don't want to necessarily go forth and pick anything again. Well, no, I guess this isn't like a systems-wide ban, right? You can still play it on your side, so I'm actually not 100% sure why they wouldn't pick somebody there. I was trying to make sense of it. Maybe it was just too slow, right? Just didn't get it there in time. Who knows?
Yeah, you know, sometimes I'm not good at making sense of stuff anyway, so I just let it ride. I'm just gonna
There you go,
send
brother.
it. But AIMD starting out on attack this time, and so this first initial push can be a tough one. A lot of times we see teams just trying to muster it down the middle, but there are some really good sidelines here, both the left and the right side. There's some vertical aspects to the map as well, and so I look to see hopefully AIMD utilizing that a bit early in this one, but I guess we'll have to wait and see not too much longer.
Yeah, personally, I also love running down that left side through here when you're running this mag imma cross combo. You have a lot of shielding capabilities in the front. It gives you a really long look of exactly what you're looking at the other side, right? What you're going to be staring down the barrel of in just a few seconds. You can then either run it right down mid, or you can do this right now. Free real estate. Come on over here to AIMD. Now, they do have this Penny up on high. Nice stun early, but this fight is coming down south soon.
Yeah, and that's why it's nice to take this high ground. You force your opponents off the high ground, down in toward this pit, and then you can look to take this fight toward the hill here as well. But Blue Crimson finding that first pick, sticking with the Mr. Fantastic here as well. So maybe a little bait and switch on those Protect Fan picks for them, but AIMD still fighting around this hill, still trying to make this pressure in. They're beginning to add some percentage toward that first tick, and it looks like they might just grasp it.
Man, super close right there. Not actually 100% sure how Dark Passenger did end up going forth and falling right there. No information skill feed really. On board with Mr. Fantastic as of right now. Gets right in the back line and immediately finds success. We'll see as Q a little bit later in this game.
And again, Mr. Fantastic is another one of these players who I felt like just wasn't a very good character until that recent patch or update, and now they've seemed to kind of be a menace. I mean, they've always been good at tanking or mitigating some damage, but as far as the damage output, I feel like they're in a much better viable spot here now.
100% agree. 100% agree. I like the way that some of these Marvel Rivals characters come out and they're a little bit less underwhelming, or a little bit underwhelming like at first. Maybe I'm just a bit jaded coming on over from another popular hero shooter.
Yeah, where they release them incredibly overpowered and you have to deal with it for 2 weeks to a month before they fix it. I hear you and I feel you and I have to agree.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Early pick, real early pick onto a huge source of damage here for Epic. This Iron Fist has gotten right up in the grill so far, and we really have not seen very much in the way of an answer. Once again, the taco beans fall down upon you. What is our tasty southwestern dish without beans, right?
You know, I'm a meat and cheese kind of guy, so you can have my extra beans. I'll toss them your way. But AIMD, I mean, they've got 4 ults. They've been struggling a little bit. They got 1 tick toward unlocking this payload, but I think with 4 ultimates here, hopefully they don't need all 4, but should they should be able to at least solidify a fight win and maybe look to unlock this here.
Yeah, they got enough time right here, right? 1 minute 11. The ideal would be, if they do lose a fight, to get out quick, because we really have not seen that very much right now. He's going to grab onto this mag. Tries to set up the extra damage in the totem beforehand. Here comes the ultimate. That's a solid start. Once again, this Star-Lord comes down, and that is some of the best angling I've seen onto this high ground with that Emma Frost ultimate I've seen in a really, really long time. Maybe ever, to be honest with you.
Yeah, really great gameplay. Good situational awareness by AIMD and Nova on this Emma Frost. So they'll be able to unlock that payload, put a couple minutes extra on the clock, about 3:05 now to work with. And they're looking to eat up some space here. Depending on when Epic was able to respawn there and unlock that payload, there might have a couple members that have a little bit further of a walk back.
Coming down on high. On board is Venger here. They've protected this one multiple times. Meditation does come in, so 4 will be coming into this best as they can. A really spread look here from AIMD. And this might be bad if we cannot get back from it. Takes it right to the healers and can't quite get the last little fingernail of damage. Pikmin right here gets nothing for the Star-Lord ult.
Yeah, great job by AMD to really back off and nullify that ult. I mean, there was just a skosh of health left in that bar. And now we see 4 on this Iron Fist trying to run around, potentially get in toward that back line. Not quite able to do it just yet, but now he's there throwing fists. We do see Loki popping up, and that'll buy some time, but Iron Fist wisely backing off here.
It's a really long cooldown, so that's still a W on my book here for that Iron Fist. Here comes the Immortality Field. And the Immortality Field, the Disability Field. Nothing for this Taco Beans Mag Ultimate, though. It seems like they've been finding double kills just easily, more often than not. Nothing on that one. This Epic Squad defense is going to come back right here. It's going to have to come off the back of some fantastic tank ultimates. Not getting any more of those for a while, though. Loki. Yep.
You see that ult coming out, the spider sweeper there from Finger. Looking to just cover up a lot of this ground, try to apply some damage and buy some time for the rest of the members to get back. But you have to be careful because when you do things like this, you're at risk of being staggered out. They unlock the checkpoint here, and all of a sudden, AMD seems to be firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, this just got a lot easier for them, right? 3 minutes initially. Decent stun onto this Iron Fist. They dip off left, pick up big health back, and they'll be A-OK post-meditation. Super low, literally won, dude. These are the kind of picks that Epic needs to turn in from, like, oh, man, he barely got away. That was a close one, right? To, oh, dude, we're down 5-6.
That's how fast it can happen in a game like Marvel Rivals. AIMD, I'm not sure what happened in those first couple games, but I'm not sure what they said between that break. It seems like they're firing on all cylinders right now. They're popping off, they're making good progression, and they're giving themselves plenty of time to work with here.
I feel like at a certain point you really have to talk about this. If you don't find nothing here, well, not going to get away from the sorts of danger this time. Passenger done, dusted. Benito barely, almost gets on the other side, can't give it up. Oh my goodness, the only thing worse than not getting that kill right there, Hot Sauce is going forth and putting way too much into it and then dying. Now the defense is going to win here, but this could have easily gone the other way, and that's not the sort of momentum you can give up when you're, what, we're going to call it 40 meters away maybe?
Yeah, very close to that final destination. They got about 90 seconds to work with, and honestly, this Cloak and Dagger all could be something to help kind of pressure them into where they need to be, these tight corridors. You've got the Psylocke ult here as well, the Dance of the Butterfly, or the Dance of Death, as I like to call it, but making some good ground here is AIMD.
Dunking damage as of right now. Maybe a little bit of an early investment here from Deadlock Sucks with that zoning Loki healing. Trying to get in the back line right now. There finds the first. We've seen multiple Epic members doing a great job of kind of like reading where that Invisible Woman is jumping out right now. Well, after donating a lot of time and effort into that one, Blue Crimson is playing a lot of healing so far. Not going to find anything. Picnic finished as well. Not going to be the first elimination for this one, but going to be darn close.
Magneto finally getting another kill with their ult after a couple stagnant rounds there. But we do see Vor popping the ult, and now you can hear they continue to rain down, and AIMD finding pick after pick. It's a double for the Psylocke here as well. And, well, there's only about 24 seconds left on the clock, but they are dangerously close to this final destination.
You gotta touch, you gotta hold here. Just not letting them to get any time. Shot the absolute worst. They get that minimum time on the backside. You just have to go for it and get all of it. Well, that looks like that should happen here. A couple of picks from AIMD, but it's a kind of spin to win sort of situation here for Fincher. 2-1. They will be taking it at best at 0. So still a pretty good situation.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have to stagger out at that point because you need the contention, but at least by staggering out, buying that extra time, you eat an additional 25, 30 seconds off the clock, and, you know, it leaves them with 0 when they finally complete it. So, although AIMD was able to make it all the way, Epic's going to have to do the same, though, or that time doesn't matter.
It's very true. Very true. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with the great game of Marvel Rivals, this is Epic Systems that come forth and takes this. They will get whatever they take it, whatever time is left in that bank. When they do take it, we'll have it added on to in overtime, whereas AMD will be getting the minimum time, which is, of course, 1 minute. After they open this up, there will be no more time allotted as well. It'll be just overtime situations all the way through for that. Again, that is resting upon Epic Systems taking this with more than 0.00 seconds on the clock.
Well, they'll get an opportunity. That, right? Yes, absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. AIMD looks like gonna stick with the same composition, and why not? I mean, it's been working here in the last few. We do see Blue Crimson actually maybe swapping roles here a bit. We've seen a little bit of everything. The Adam Warlock, which was saved or protected this time, but hasn't been on it. They were on the Mr. Fantastic, now over to the Emma Frost.
Yeah, so really just jumping rolls upon rolls. I mean, they found value in pretty much everything they've played so far. Personally, obviously, as you know, about 100 hours at least on that, and more like myself, love to see them popping off on that. But whatever it is for the squad, of course, team-based game, ourselves.
Yeah, we got a triple Vanguard situation over here on the side of Epic as well. So really just trying to mix it up a little bit, see if they can find something that works after they've kind of been stifled a bit here by AIMD. It's that left upper ground pressure here as well. Once more, we'll see if Epic will have a similar success.
This is some real damage capability between the Mag, Emma Frost, and this Penny. Takes it to the back. This is a wise decision. Is this Psylocke now just trying to get out? Well, the getting was good. They found their quarry. They have already won. Now, maybe bringing this one back down from here. The randomly placed fire is actually not going to really bode well for either of these two teams. Both of them just trying to stay on point as long as they can. Fantastic headshot as Epic puts a solid foot forward. Second one right here, the Hawkeye popping off, and I think now we see why. Saw a little bit of Hawkeye fans earlier.
Yeah, Deadlock sucks, you know. At least Hawkeye doesn't, I guess, because my man is shooting arrows to the dome, the competition going home, and they've got 5 minutes and 20 seconds to work with here. I mean, tenfold what we saw from AIMD, but there are a couple really tough choke points still to kind of traverse here through this one, so we'll see if AIMD can find a way to lock it down.
That was a great start, but a even better response there from Gaming's here, realizing you simply cannot leave this Hawkeye alive. Fantastic answer after the open, but yeah, if memory serves, AIMD, excuse me, pushed this and got it with overtime, like unlocked it with overtime, so they got that 3 minutes just the same, but there was 2 minutes and I think 21 seconds, 30 seconds, something like that for Epic, so categorically different ways in which they opened up first point.
Yeah. They certainly stormed in there. We've seen a nice little stop here initially. Gaming's here. Does have the full kit and caboodle to rock out, including that ult. So you might see that come out here in a few moments. Maybe looking to bait out that Invisiwoman ult, though, because that's also something that can stifle this all. But up top, it's 4 for 2. Gaming gets 1 as well. They combine for 3, and AIMD, that's AIMD thing.
Yeah, not the first time we've seen that with this Psylocke. Once you go into that corridor up top, especially if she's invisible, you have to assume with ultimate that she's going to pull this one. Now, the good thing here for Epic is they are glowing with ultimate. Everybody has got that one except for the Emma Frost, who will be there in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and hopefully we can see him kind of stagger those ults out a bit, 2 or 3 at a time. You don't want to hopefully expend all of them there. Try to get the most value as you pressure forward. But right now, Iron Fist has the ult as well, and that is equally as dangerous.
Turn around, you fool! Escorting a magic statue to a hall full of gods? I feel like I'm in a religious myth.
Someone exterminate these. You belong to me!
To go. We got to have another one. We're gonna get the Emma Frost. No, nice bubble heat.
Put on a show! Get that people moving again!
Now's the part where you
Time to reach it. Much better.
I like the cold. Be strong together.
Here, and
the
nothing
barrage,
for the
yeah.
Emma Frost ult. Yeah, so we were, what, they got 3 extra minutes?
Magneto!
Get this statue delivered!
I feel like myself again.
Gets the world!
Couple big pick. Yeah, they begin to top.
look who's here.
I'm not trying to say that Iron
This is
Fist.
gonna hurt. A nice deep freeze. You're halfway there. Keep going.
Much better.
Just embrace the light. I shot.
Miniature metal spiders. Interesting.
Those spider bots under my high
You owe me one. Powering up. Watch me Don't mind. Get that vehicle moving again. Only 60 seconds left. Turn around, quick. Bionic first. I suck.
爆元手艺。If we fail, we'll
Clearly you needed some help. What am I?
feeling fantastic.
Feeling fantastic.
Son,
Down to 30 seconds. Us against the
The
world.
ultimates for just a couple of seconds. They do get taken down there in the thick of things. Had to pull this cloak and dagger ultimate. Not gonna be enough there for the epic defense. They're gonna have one more push at this.
One final push to go.
30 seconds.
Not a ton of time to work with. We'll see if they can light that overtime fuse here.
Whoa. An early take out right here. Even through the ultimate and even through the Mr. Fantastic effort up front. It's going to be one of the most one-sided maps we have seen thus far. 3-1 scoreline, and even that one did not seem like it really was. They opened it up and got it barely past that hot sauce.
Yes, barely, but I'm kind of surprised at how well they made this final stand. And oh my, let me just go ahead and stop my train of thought. 37 kills for gaming on this Psylocke.
Insane. It was what, the Iron Fist last time that it bought AIMD the W right there. It's going to be the Psylocke this time. And again, I can't point to a more succinct description of why exactly that happened until you talk about the Psylocke play in that upper corridor, right outside the very first spawn room that you open up past the original, right? She comes up here, gets it going in that corridor, finds, I believe, 4 of them, at least 2 of them with assistance, doesn't matter, continues to badger the backline and gets ultimate back what feels like 15 seconds later.
Yeah, I'm almost at a loss for words here. Epic, they came out swinging. I mean, it was unexpected to see them go up 2-0 in this series. AIMD has had to dig deep in the pockets for that one, but they found a way to battle back. They now get 2 in a row, and there, we're going to take a quick look at those stats. Gaming here, 37-7 with 22 final hits, but even Boar had 34.
All right, DPS, man, get on out of here. 37 assists there for AsQ, as well as 29,000+ healing. If my eyes are going somewhere, you have to pay attention to that one. In fact, that's more than any 2 players over here healing-wise for Kildare. No, excuse me. Deadlock sucks. Kildare is technically more than that one. But yeah, Pikmin really got to pick this back up. Not even 10k healing in a longer 2 rounds right here in competitive fashion. For as a Luna Snow, this is unsustainable.
Yeah, and I just wonder because we see 1, 2, 3, 4 players, a 5th one there as well, but not much, but 4 players with healing. So I felt like there was probably a lot of swaps from character to character here. It just seemed like another epic victory couldn't find a grasp or a footing for what exactly they wanted to do. We saw Blue Crimson switch toward this Adam Warlock, but it was right at the end of the game, so only 802 heal off of that. But AIMD has found a way to battle back, and all of a sudden we're right back to that tied series. It kind of gives us a flashback to those best of 3s that were running throughout the regular season and initially in that upper postseason bracket run as well.
Yeah, maybe a little flash from the past here for these 2 teams. This one's boiled all the way down. Gotta love it. Taking a look at a lot of eliminations. This one will be, again, looking at loser picking either the location of the server or the maps here, right?
That is right. Then either of these teams, they've only got to get 2 more wins in the bag to clinch up that champion spot, that trophy, and all that extra funds for their charity. But we do need to take a quick break to, stretch the legs, get those snacks, get the players loaded back into the lobby. But I can assure you, you don't want to go too far. When we come back, we've got more Marble Rivals action.
違うのはカラーリングだけじゃないわ。所詮0号機と初号機は開発過程のプロトタイプ、ネットタイプ。訓練なしのあなたなんかにいきなりシンクロするのがそのいい証拠よ。これこそ実戦用に作られた世界初の本物のエヴァンゲリオンなのよ。電気タイプね。
Welcome back to the Corporate Charity Championship. It's the Spring 2025 Finals, of course, sponsored by Amazon Luna. We've got 4 exciting matches done and dusted, all tied up 2-2 as we get ready for the next one, Tugboat.
Yes, very, very excited for this one. On paper, right, we're looking at this AIMD squad that should have been doing this the entire time. Maps 1 and 2, though, go handedly the way of Epic Systems. After that, completely flipped script. We saw a 2-0 there in map number 3. That was on Hell's Heaven. And then map number 4 here, 3-1. So the same 2-0 score difference, even if Epic Systems was able to get a point on the board.
It's been some back and forth battles, and honestly, I've been a little bit confused at times. We saw, another Epic victory come out, win the first 2 when they've only been able to take a map through 9 games, and then we saw them explode and unlock that payload really quickly, an additional 5+ minutes. But I mean, we saw AIMD able to lock it down, find that crucial stop when it matters, and all of a sudden you feel like that momentum now beginning to shift a bit toward AIMD's favor as they've gotten 2 in a row now.
Yeah, like, I really give more props to the team that unlocks a point in overtime, elongated team fight, your first 3 minutes done, dusted, you do not give up. On the other side, unlocking it with 2 minutes and some change, well, that's fantastic. Now you get a lot of time to go forth with which to cook. They get nothing done with it, though, Hot Sauce. Again, maybe 45 meters outside. You're really even talking about, like, maybe flirting with, like, the last real 90-degree turn that this payload takes after it is initially opened up right there, and that's just not going to work over there on that Wakanda map. You have to at least get to the second one. Try and give yourself a little bit more wiggle room to go forth and make this happen because, I mean, getting right there again, I give a lot more props to the team that opens it up after an elongated team fight than the team that does open it up and does nothing with their time.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you like having that additional time, but if you don't utilize it to the best potential, then it doesn't do you any benefit. So certainly maybe gives you a little extra room to make some minor mistakes or to have some errors, but if you're not able to find that final destination, then it really doesn't matter. So we're getting ready for this next one, Shin Shibuya on Convergence here.
Think they might have some Doctor Strange love over here for AIMD. Let's talk a little bit about what was working with Epic Systems across the first 2 games and what wasn't. Taco Beans on the mag, working. Pikmit on DPS characters not named Star-Lord seemed like it was working, right? Kildare on either of those, the Cloak and Dagger, the Invisible Woman, looked like they were absolutely frying. Blue Crimson, though, it seems like once they've started to switch their roles, it just simply hasn't worked as much, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him do really well on the Adam Warlock. I felt like they did pretty good in the Mr. Fantastic as well, but, I think this big factor is Pikmit's very good on Storm, but she's just not as viable without that torch there as well, and we see AIMD kind of counter-picking into some of that. That Iron Fist has been difficult for them to deal with, and so we do see that Iron Fist ban come out immediately this time from the side of Epic.
Cannot be surprised about this one. You make that mistake once, you really can only blame yourself if it happens yet again. On the other side, Thing getting banned once more. I'm assuming this is predicting the Invisible Woman situation, maybe trying to stop the super divey comp that is the Thing and Hulk, right? Like, especially with Thing's ability to jump on over, reduce the damage intake from those 2 characters. It really is a fantastic team up, even if it isn't a formal, like, ability or cooldown granted within the game, right?
Yeah, and I feel like maybe it's a character that Epic has played a ton in the past because AIMD has banned the Thing in that 3rd position every single time And so maybe there is some history there that we don't really know about, but it has been a common ban. So we haven't seen them at all on the battlefield today, much like that torch after game 1. But they are going to protect the raccoon this time. And on the other side of things, I mean, they really want Finger to rock this penny. And now Adam Warlock being protected. We didn't really see him used last time, but we might just see Blue Crimson start off on the Adam Warlock this time.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, Finger had fantastic success when they were playing on the defensive side of this map, right? On the other side, it's just so hard to get her traps down and have them, you know, go down, get secure, actually get into a position where they can pop up, not even talking about her colony on the other side. Another no pick for the protect. I can't imagine that this is anything more than just maybe failing to input something.
Well, I think Epic the last few times hasn't even come up with a final ban. They just kind of let it slide, much like we see that protect there from AIMD. But they are going to ban away the Star-Lord here. No ban on the Doctor Strange from Epic this time. So do we see it come out on the side of AIMD?
Yeah, and only one healer involved in... oh, no, excuse me. No healers banned as well. So this will be only protected and allowed all the way through. Really just DPS and tank characters facing the ire of those bans. No thing here for Epic. No Emma Frost over there for the side of AIMD. So ultimately going with the Groot, ultimately going with the Emma Frost here for AIMD. They kind of get that hybrid between a DPS and a tank in the Wolverine with HBH. Is that what we're calling this player?
Yeah, it works for me.
Cool, HBH.
If it works for you.
Absolutely, sir.
All right, well, we haven't seen a ton of Groot here. Nova on that Groot. Dark, of course, rocking the Raccoon. HB on this Wolverine as well. Did we get to see any kidnappings about to take place? We saw Deadlock with some nice Hawkeye shots, and we do see Blue Crimson back onto this Adam Warlock. So going back to a composition that was a little bit more favorable for Epic in those first couple maps. We'll see if it pays off for him here.
You get Pikmin up top, you have some serious burst damage capabilities. Blue Crimson, Deadlock sucks. Both of them going to have to pay attention not only to that Wolverine when they really start giving their tanks the business, but also, of course, to that Psylocke that is going forth and having a fantastic ability earlier. Wow. Well, talk about burst damage. Just Blue Crimson back in the saddle.
Right back into it. Looks like they got the BRB from Dark here, so Groot will be right back on their feet for the time being. HB looking to get in toward this back line and see if they can find this potential kidnap. Does get baited out up and above, and honestly, a great situational awareness here from Epic.
Longer cooldown. There's the kidnap, and there goes Taco Beans. These beans have been spilled as that's an initial pick, and not going to be a BRB on the other side, is there? No, there's not. No. Warlock ultimate up quite yet. What, only 45% damage? Actually kind of surprising on ultimate there.
Yeah, we see him really beginning to pad that percentage early. A couple of these characters certainly definitely do it a little bit quicker, but Deadlock sucks finding a snipe. Gaming will find the return fire, pick up one of their own, and they're beginning to pressure Epic a bit off of this initial control point to unlock the payload now.
Here it comes, Invisible Woman ability, or ultimate, excuse me. Up, there it comes immediately. Wise decisions when you see the Luna Snow ultimate get popped on the other side. Basically, not actually, but basically invincible on the other side. The Storm kind of trying to dedicate her ultimate into an ulting Luna Snow. I have seen more fruitless adventures before in my time, but it's been a while.
Yeah, unfortunately, not a lot of value coming out from that. And I was wondering if AIMD was going to go with an Invis Woman to kind of, that invisible boundary really kind of nullifies a lot of those ults, but not even necessary. And now Gaming finding an early pick onto Deadlock just after they unlock the payload. So a bit of a further respawn for them as well. And we'll see them kind of slowly making that pressure. AIMD able to unlock this payload much quicker than that previous map.
There you go. Chip damage finally comes in at the end. Projectile mag hits that. BRB is utilized, so that'll be a longer cooldown here for Dark Passenger. Dark Passenger, another character that we have seen, another player, excuse me, that we have seen play a hole, but in a bunch of different roles.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great asset to have for your team. Being able to swap not only characters, but roles can go a long way when you're trying to get deep into that roster and make some swaps around here. So AIMD doing a great job of making some adjustments after those first 2 games. They continue to power forward here. And now Psylocke has that ult ready to rip once more in the back line. No value from that one. Pikmet able to get off to a safer position, and they almost tried to pick on the game.
Very close. There's the Eye of Agamotto, and that'll be enough for 3. Even the Raccoon getting involved. That one looking for it. Does find the Luna Snow on the other side. She really doesn't have many movement capabilities to get away from that one. Quick healing. Ultimate, and I guess that is the advantage. Hey, you can't out-damage a like the middle of an invisible woman ultimate and have it die. Great hold. Epic games coming back in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah, the hold was not only phenomenal, but they get Dark to pop the Raccoon all early as well when they were already outnumbered and had a few members on respawn, so no value coming out from that Raccoon all. But AIMD still has 3 to work with, including the ones here in the hand of Wolverine.
They do. This is going to have to be an AIMD squad that comes together here. I mean, you could push this up with the Strange up front, maybe a crew wall, something like that. They're going to opt to go with the Luna Snow ultimate, so I'm not against that one whatsoever. Doing a great job of cycling through their abilities. Big AoE release here, and that's enough for a lot. Well, hey, there's a res on the other side. Adam Warlock is back here as Blue Crimson pays it off for the squad.
Second chance is over.
Karmic Revival
Somebody gonna stop
can be
this?
huge.
I was say, somebody gonna stop that Strange. No, that's not gonna happen right there. My goodness.
Yeah, gaming in the background too. Those picks onto the squishies, now finding Pikmet as well. That's going to be a triple, and that should be enough here to hopefully kind of find that contention, get that payload moving yet again. I don't think they realized that it was completely stopped there. So fighting off the point, not allowing it to pressure forward, but they still got 1:50 to work with here and not too far to go.
Decision, taking care of Colony first. Now it's a little Groot on the rest. Groot versus the world here. Excuse me, maybe it's more like Doctor Strange versus the World Board on their world tour of rules here. They've been paying it off in space. 99, here's the 100. Agamotto gotta come soon. Lands, but immediately the healing ultimate on the other side. Blue Crimson gonna be the first bit of their quarry done, it's finished. And I do believe AIMD is gonna have found enough, especially with their own healing ultimate on the backside.
That was a nice invisible boundary, but the Eye of Agamotto kind of caught 2 just outside of it. So they find those first 2 picks. Then it becomes increasingly tougher for Epic. The rest continue to stagger out. AMD did lose a couple, and somehow Epic's still holding on to the contention. They'll finally get it, unlock that closer spawn, and now they've got about 2.5 minutes to find that final destination. Taking
a look at the ultimate economy as of right now. Psylocke will be there. The way that gaming's here has been playing, maybe 5 seconds or so. Groot, Raccoon, Wolverine, all with ultimates available. And really, the Penny ultimate is just not as good by itself. Gonna have to wait for at least the Storm ult, if not the Mag.
Yeah, if you can get that spider trap up early, build up a bunch of mines, and then pop it, try to extend them out, it can be great, but I feel like you're right. You really got to try to combine that with at least one other ultimate as Wolverine kidnaps him, takes him away, the ult, the dance on the butterfly. Can they find anything? Blue Crimson dangerously low. He goes down. Nova finds one. Boar finds Finjer. Deadlock answers back. It's a 2-for-2 trade that Askew comes out on top.
Pikmet has this, and no, goes toe-to-toe with Strange in the air and gets grounded. Wow. I mean, oh wait, no, Pikmet actually did pull that. Wow, so got eliminated as they were actually pulling it there. Hot sauce.
Now, series of unfortunate events. Maybe Lemony Snickets is lurking about here as Deadlock has the ult to work with. So we'll see if maybe they can kind of find a way to battle back, but they don't have a ton of time to do it really on either side because AIMD is dangerously close to capping this off with about a minute left.
Yeah, there's another eye. Fantastic land. Boar has been nailing these so far. The res does come through. And it's just a brawl on the point. Waste as much time as you can. I absolutely love this. There's the BRB here, but AIMD loses another.
Boar was able to find 2. see DPS and a support go down. They find that one onto Adam Warlock there as well. Now 4 on respawn for Epic. This could be that final push. They're going to catch Magneto out as well. And this Psylocke has been a silent game changer, if you will. We've seen a lot of the Iron Fist, but we saw in that last one, I think 37-3, continuing that domination. At what point, you know, you don't have enough bans, I think, to take care of AIMD at this point.
That's entirely fair, man. That's entirely fair. They've been, like, always focusing. I mean, the initial ban from AIMD has, of course, been the Human Torch, but on the other side, it was the Iron Fist that was given in the business earlier. I really feel like they were just tired of being forced into playing some kind of shield tank to deal with the Emma Frost ultimate consistently, because we really saw AIMD getting up that one very quickly. As it is, wait, is Nova a sub? Did we miss that?
Nova's been in here for a couple rounds for sure.
Me. Sorry about that.
Was healing at one point, was on the Emma Frost at one point as well. They're definitely capable of playing a couple different roles. I think we saw him swap there along with Boar, who was on that Iron Fist, now on the Doctor Strange. So AIMD just really kind of showing how deep their roster is, and the capability here, or the skill set of a lot of these players to play multiple different characters and or roles.
Very true. It'll always pay off for the squad as well, right? Being able to flex here, always ideal. Taking a look at Nova here, what they have written down is they really feel comfortable in that Groot, Hela, or Invisible Woman. So really, again, one from either role. I don't know how you can ask for much more.
All you need to do is capture the
That's certainly not me. I typically stay to the DPS or Cloak and Dagger. You don't get much strategist from me. A couple Vanguards I enjoy, but I don't often like to play that role. So it's certainly a valuable asset to have, and it makes them, you know, a great little addition to the team here.
Realizing they might have been bitten off a little bit more than they can chew. Is Fingered on the other side. There's an early BRB, so no kind of cushion in the back pocket, and another one against this Wolverine. Pushing very closely inside, but through the thick of things, they lose a huge source of healing. Of course, Adam Warlock's going to have his own res here, so we'll be back to a 6v6 for a little while. Really going to have their work cut out for them will be Dark Passenger, but the Invisible Woman is doing fantastic, and the lack of a push right here, well, until the Psylocke finishes, is going to yield in another advantage. Not really close.
Yeah, Deadlock sucks too. Has had 3 nice snipes in a row, almost unlocking that Hunter's sight here as well, as they're getting dangerously close to the all. But it's Wolverine, HB, the kidnap, and Pigman ain't coming back.
Well, there comes both Invisible Women's ultimate. Kidnap it as you must, but there's a stun that might be the difference. It just comes down the very last second. But it's going to be enough to keep him alive for a little while. Blue Crimson. It's Hawkeye done. Wall comes up, and this is just so much CC against this mag. And I've played this role before, and it is a thankless. Is that?
Whoa. He's just out here scooping them up and slicing and dicing, man. It's tough to deal with at times, especially when this AIMD is so good at getting in and out of the backline. You combine that with having to deal with Groot and Doctor Strange, 2 of the tanks that are some of the best mitigators out there. And so AIMD doing everything they need to do here in the opener of this one.
Great job playing this corner, but it's not going to be a Doctor Strange wall that they'll be able to enjoy much longer here. Pull inside, backline going back and forth. They can't pull it, didn't block it. Raccoon done. This might finally be the difference maker until HBH has something to say about it. The DPS combo really going forth and pulling double duty onto that mag. Rez does come in though, so Epic is going to be all over this one. Will they be able to take this? Will AIMD try and push this? I don't believe so, given this penny is still, you know, in Narnia.
Narnia, I love it. Well, yeah, it looks like Psylocke might have gotten back in here in time. The Doctor Strange portal as well is going to allow them to find a way onto the point. The contention comes in with just a few moments left here, so continuing to eat up time off the clock. Crimson Bean finding picks. The BRB brings them back, but just like that, they continue to fall like dominoes. Deadlock on the Bucky this time, finds a triple, and has that ult on deck and ready to flex.
Fantastic stuff. So they utilized the res earlier on, 100% necessary. Pikmin didn't really have it in that one, and obviously Taco used it way before. So there's really only one ultimate used, finally, in that take. 3 minutes and 15, 20 seconds left in this one. Opting to take it from on high. And yeah, AIMD realizes they do not really want to. They don't want to fight through this one.
My
Right?
apologies, little spiders.
Yeah, definitely got to get regrouped here, get reset. They've been making some really nice stands, and now that swap toward Bucky, we'll see how they try to navigate that. You've got that bionic hook. Hopefully pull, look to pull that group in toward your back line, punch him even further, but the invisible boundary comes up, and with that, Gaming will find the first pick. Can they get another? They do. They come in bunches now.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Boar has been stunning. I'm gonna say an average of like 3, 2.5, maybe, like across their 5 or 6 eyes of Agamotto, excuse me. I don't really know how you get much more value out of that, right? You're getting the soul bind here from the Adam Warlock on the other side. You're getting healing even before, but it's just immediately, as that's called, every member of AIMD responds and takes this to the cleaners.
Gaming lurking on the sidelines here, wanting to use the dance of the butterfly, but does get caught off guard here by Pinnit. Will back off to a safer position as they look to regroup, recollect, and pressure Boar. But again, AIMD has just done a really great job of stifling these pushes here from Epic.
Couple of walls out here. It's going to negate the ability to get damage from on high. Pinstrike kill feed for a couple of seconds till the BRB brings AIMD back to a full 6. There's a res on the other side. With Pinstrike, full 6 on 6 as of right now. Down bottom and tries to get the ulting Psylocke. It makes sense to try and interrupt this one, but you just end up tossing it right into a strange wall. If that wall has literally, what, two health left, right? And that's enough to block it, and they'll be happy for it.
Needed a little.
Yeah, great situational awareness by Boar to make sure they find that stand that allowed the rest of the crew to get a couple picks. Boar found a few of their own, and they keep winning these fights by staggering out these ults. They still got 3 to work with. Now, there's 3 on the other side here for Epic as well, including the big res from Blue Crimson, so they've got some time to work with, but it certainly is slowly dwindling away.
It is. It's at 60 seconds now. This is one long team fight, or it's a disengage now, especially after you lose. Pikmin, a huge source of damage.
Yeah, Taco Beans is down as well. So you're down a DPS, you're down a Vanguard. Bucky goes in there to throw some fist. We do see Finger picking up one, but the BRB will bring Psylocke right back once more. The Eye of Agamotto in toward the back line. Not a ton of value this time, but still buying up a ton of time.
He got stunned right there. That was a fantastic job from Fincher, actually nailing him just in the nick of time. Blue Crimson, here comes the res. They'll have a new lease on life coming into this one. Hot sauce.
New lease on life, but only about 20 seconds left to use it, or at least to ignite that overtime fuse and see if they can continue this pressure forward. AIMD has been making one heck of a goal line stand here.
Ready to put on a show.
Great kidnap, but finds nothing on the backside. It's an immediate answer from the Luna Snow. Health, damage, everything in between. Even with that, no, Luna Snow gets tossed all the way up right there, and nobody touches point. It is another 3-1 victory for AIMD as they put Epic Systems on match point.
Yeah, I mean, to be down 0-2 or 2-0, whatever you want to call it, now to find yourselves up 3-2, you get 3 in a row, the confidence, the momentum, everything has to be on your side. And this time it's ASQ sneaking in that MVP. The supports don't often get enough credit, but certainly going to get some here.
Oh, can somebody record a DPS main saying that and play it back to me when I'm feeling like I'm not getting enough from my DPS and my tanks out there as I'm healing away? Nah. 42,000 freaking healing done. 47 eliminations there for ASQ. My goodness.
Yeah, 47 assists, but still an insane number. 23 kills as your support, 12k damage on top of the 42k heals, 15.9 mitigated as well. Phenomenal job, but HB Gaming's here. The Psylocke, the Wolverine combo was working really, really well together. You topple that with the Doctor Strange, the Groot walls, and it was just a really tough, water for Epic to navigate.
I mean, if you have these group walls up consistently, and then, like, at a certain point, it's easy to lose track of exactly where this Strange is, especially if they know, hey, don't pull a wall, and they're not going to know where I'm at. Now this makes for incredibly sneaky eyes of Agamotto's, because you can go up and over, right, with his vertical ability. Just the unpredictability with which this happens, and that's the other thing, right? You saw Blue Crimson answering this. You saw the Soulbind coming out immediately, right? Well, this only obviously works for LOS when the Crude has those walls up. That's going to negate that ability. And when you have really less than 4, maybe even less than 5 really players involved in that, when you are stunned for that long, for that Doctor Strange ultimate, it's just not going to be enough. I mean, 15 healing per second really is not that much. You pull that Soulbind for the pooling of damage, of course, but it only does 250 maximum, and at high levels like this, that's going to be way, way long enough at like 2.5 seconds for the sun to get all that damage in.
Yeah, and I felt like AMD just did a little bit better job of staggering out those ults, really kind of winning a lot of these battles without expending too much. And so I feel like, this torch ban being first every time certainly has been a big difference maker here for the side of AIMD.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I feel like frequently in the first half of this series, it has been whoever's just able to rain from the skies, right? That I have the high ground Anakin, right? That advantage just naturally comes in with any first-person shooter that you're going to play from playing above another character. As it is, I mean, it was a large part in Blue Crimson, but everybody over there on the side of Epic Systems that was able to ground out those kind of capabilities, well, once they got to the ground, AIMD has been grounded and pounded all the way through, and they have won the past 3 in a row. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, 3 in a row, and they only need one more to close it out to claim those bragging rights of being the 2025 Marvel Rivals Corporate Charity Champions and that wonderful $2,160 for their choice of charity. Of course, you had mentioned it earlier on the side of AIMD. That's going to be the Quest to Conquer Cancer for the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. Now, on the other side of things, regardless of the outcome, still not going home empty-handed. Whoever gets first or second place will be that 1,080. And the charity choice of another epic victory is going to be Doctors Without Borders. So many, many great causes here today.
Yeah, it really is. Really is. Want to give a big shout out to Amazon Luna for helping to put on competitions just like this one. And of course, to our production staff, as I always say, Hot Sauce and I are just 2 magnificently mustachioed mans in our room screaming about esports without a production staff, folks. A big shout out to Hot Sauce, that's you, to Upmind, excuse me, and Gitago here. Yes, Gitago and Upmind for producing away, making our jobs as casters that much easier, and we very much appreciate it.
Yeah, much like the strategists or the healers, the guys in the background don't get often enough credit. So big shout out to everybody doing their due diligence behind the scene, making our jobs look easy, as Tugboat had said. But honestly, it's been a great day, regardless of the outcome. All of these players should be holding their heads high. They put on an absolute cinema for us here today, and they're playing for a great cause.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I feel like a 4-2 series is the best you can feel about it, right? Obviously, nobody feels good about getting 4-0'd. And on the other side, like, you beat a team 4-3, can you really talk that much, right? Especially if it goes down in, like, a situation when you go up, like, 3-0, and then the other team goes forth, wins 3 in a row, and you just barely edge out in the very, very end, right? As it is, 4-2 seems like about as even-handed as you get. Even 4-1 is just kind of like one of those things like, man, okay, well, we got one. We got enough to, like, brag about and say we didn't get swept. 4-2 is where I want to live at, and that's at the absolute least where this would end for the side of AIMD. Obviously, other side, Epic Systems, they come back at this, they'll win this series at 4-3.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Epic should be at least pleased with their performance here today. They've put up a solid fight. They were able to steal 2 games away right off rip from AIMD, which is something that they've struggled with throughout the regular season and the postseason. So again, we see these teams continuously growing, steps and strides in the right direction, and you certainly can't complain about that.
No, can't complain at all. Can't complain at all. What we are also not going to complain about, short little break for these players. The most important time going down right now, coaches talking to players, players talking to coaches, figuring out exactly what they want to do in what could be the possible last map. My boy Hot Sauce, FBI Tugboat, we'll be back with you guys in just a minute.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's the Corporate Charity Championship Spring 2025 Finals. We're almost to the end of it, sponsored here by Amazon Luna. My name is Hot Sauce, and still in the booth with me, the legend to my digital right, Tugboat. We've had an exciting series, but we still got at least one more game to go.
It's true. It's true. What we came out firing on all cylinders was Epic Systems 2-0 right there, where they have been unable to take a series off of this AIMD squad across 3 of these series. 1 the regular season, 2 here postseason, right? Well, it's looking like it's kind of the same thing we might have expected here. Number 2 seed AIMD, who has always owned this Epic Systems squad. Number 3 seed looking at a 3-2 series lead right now after they took not 1, not 2, but 3 maps in a row, Hot Sauce.
3 in a row, looking to close it out with that 4th one as well. And I think we might be heading back toward domination here as well. So, I'd like to see this series extended a little bit. I'd like to see it end on a map that I like with a payload. So maybe I'll be a little biased here and see if another epic victory can steal away this domination.
Hey, we're here for this series till it ends, and I would not be against it if it goes all the way down to 7. It's been basically boiled down to a best of 3 after that game number 4. Tied series it was right there, but another map added on top of that, and AIMD is a-rolling.
Ready to get right into it. An opportunity here for AIMD to close it out, hoist that trophy, the bragging rights, and the 2160 for their charity for another epic victory. Well, they need that, another epic victory to extend this series all the way to the best of 7 as we head on into Burnin' T'Challa.
Love it. Love it. Now, taking a look here at some of the newer players. Now, I mistakenly said this earlier, but Jamando for Epic is new, right? I had it written down here.
Mm-hmm.
It was Finger, okay. Maybe Taco Beans. No, Taco Beans is in here.
Jamando is for another epic victory. I think he was also a little bit in that coaching slot, but is another one of these players here that's on. I mean, both of these teams have very deep rosters, 9, 10 players. But yeah, Jamando is a new one stepping in here.
Yeah, for Pikmet right here, so Pikmet generally being played, or generally being given the responsibility of that DPS role. We'll see how the DPS core here for Epic does change now with Jamando coming on in here. We do have a little bit of information as these picks do go down. Where's it just at? I just had it. Here you go. Jamando, Rocket, and Mantis. So perhaps a little bit of a different change here. Or, of course, this information is put here to throw us off.
Well, if he likes Rocket, at least it's protected on the side of AIMD. Of course, they are making sure to get rid of that torch. But on the other side, not only do we see the Iron Fist ban, but now the Psylocke ban coming out as well.
Yeah, the most anticipated 2 bans on the face of a Marvel Rivals competitive scene after those, really the past 2 maps, but honestly the past 3. Obviously, AIMD won all of those first one and part of the second off the back of the Iron Fist, and Psylocke just reigning supreme after that one. Another ban from the Thing here for AIMD. They must have read the script because, again, yeah, Torch first, Thing second has been their first 2 bans so far every single map.
Yeah, the at least the one time I didn't get to see what fully happened on that second map, obviously, but the one time that they let Torch slip through, it didn't end well for them. So gonna get rid of that Hawkeye as well. Deadlock Sucks was playing very well on the Hawkeye, so that's reasonable. They're gonna get rid of the Wolverine. They said we're tired of these dive comps. Do we see a Panther come out? Back to the Doctor Strange. We got Groot at least. So toying with the idea here, but maybe going to limit that dive comp just a bit from all of those bans from Epic. On the other side of things, Crimson maybe opting to go back toward Mr. Fantastic, Taco, and the Captain America, which we haven't seen a ton of just yet.
So the Mantis as Q combination right here. So there is a res there, but this is like some of the lowest sustained healing you'll see across regular abilities of these healers, and then just, I mean, pretty much the biggest burst capabilities from Adam Warlock as well. This will also provide some serious mid-range damage until, there you go. That's kind of what I was anticipating, maybe leading into it as Q going on over towards the Rocket.
I was wondering if they were going to go with that 3 strategist. I mean, Mantis, Star-Lord, Adam Warlock. That can be a very devastating composition that we've seen a little bit in the pro scene as well. But A little more of a comfortability pick back toward Boar. They've been doing very well on the Strange. Combine that with Nova. Adam Warlock is going to come out with this Mantis, though, and they are going to go with Luna. So we do have that 3 strategic composition.
Just the classic usage of the rocket to give everybody that extra 25. Some people would say, hey, you lose it within the first team fight, like before you even really get into this main map. Hey, I'll say an extra 25 always taken no matter how it happens. This is a pretty aggressive take and aggressive rotation here for AIMD early, and I'm all here for it. How do you crack this with Fincher, Captain America on the other side? Really gonna have to dive the backline through and through. Well, that's the beginning of this one. As you can see it here from Dark Passenger. All up in the grill. That is that Captain America. Gotta get back and heal the squad. Does. Soulbind available. Gotta utilize that one now.
Dark, dangerously low, will get taken out by Taco on this Captain American. So a good early pick at a start here for Epic, but it's AIMD who's trying to steal the point away. Big picks in blue in the kill feed. Epic maybe finding the secret sauce to success.
Oh, a great job from this Mr. Fantastic. It can be so difficult for these ground-based characters to get damage against the aerial ones. Well, no problem whatsoever there for Blue Crimson.
I know, again, I said it before, I used to think Mr. Fantastic was a bum, and now I still do for all the wrong reasons, because he's always out there just beating the crap out of me. A very tough character, deals damage, great at mitigating and being that additional tank if needed. So I'm really liking this composition from Epic thus far. It's already beginning to work. They've got about 25% on the board here at this first point.
It was a fantastic way after they saw just not anywhere near as much success on this domination game mode. Now just peppering the entrance of this with mines. And a fantastic decision. Early take against Blue Crimson. They've been playing a whole lot of healers. Now over onto that Mr. Fantastic. There's the Groot ultimate out, but immediately answered. And especially to answer this Gaming's Here ultimate. Quick wipe. Quick wipe. Now, they used what? They used half of their ultimate economy here, though, Epic did, and to find nothing.
Yeah, I mean, they've still got 3 left versus the one of AIMD, and they've already got 50% on the board as well. So, I mean, if they could use 2 or 3 just to solidify a big win, take this point back early before AIMD can build that percentage, it could be huge. But AIMD is up in the face here. They're eating up the space and making it much more difficult to walk through this tiny doorway.
Yeah, a fat pick early here. That's as Q. Now immediately have to answer this one on the other side from Caldera after the counterattack from AIMD did come out. Star-Lord done and dusted, though. They might have that res capability unlocked, of course. No, the Adam Warlock done. Deadlock sucks, can't keep it up, so it's a pinstripe kill feed for a couple of seconds. Caldera, they cannot resist the call. The Emma Frost ultimate. No one can.
Boar off the Strange and onto the Emma Frost, putting in some work already. Nova's going to find a pick. The BRB to bring back Finjer is Gaming. Does find this pick onto Captain America. So even with that BRB, they're going to be a little bit outnumbered. Down a Vanguard here as well. And so a smart decision by Epic to look to fall back and try and regroup. But they pick off Demondo, and the stagger continues.
Yeah, and this is AIMD that can take all of this space really without having to worry about it. Obviously, they do have the res up here, but they can get out quick with the Brute Walls. You kind of section this off, even if it's just a second, that's enough time to get through. And this is a Fincher. Wow, a fantastic shot right there, even through the thick of things, even through. And ultimate now as Blue Crimson is landing all around. There's the res there for the Mantis, so they'll be back into it. Here comes Gaming's Here again. This one post, the best defender of the Epic squad. Oh, who dare to try venture out to fall. Blue Crimson done early and a lot more from the Star-Lord after that one. Gotta help out your Adam Warlock, folks.
Situational awareness, able to get back to the med pack and get topped off, but it's a big KO here from Nova, finding Bucky out early. They've got the player advantage. The Spider Sweeper coming out. Look at the game control of the point. The invisible boundary is there as well, and that should be enough to keep them up.
Yeah, it really was. We were looking at Finjer here, even with his ultimate pop. They got rather low after all the attention in the world did come on to them. Colony out. Here comes both of them. That's going to not be enough on the corner here. The Strange gets taken in. A pinstripe kill feed yet again. This Captain America has not died in so long and basically set up onto this point. 99 to 50 as of right now. A lot more damage on the backside. Venger falls, and AIMD come this much closer, Hot Sauce, to taking it down in this best of 7 series.
One more to go. One more is all they need for this best of 3 here within our best of 7 today as we head on to our second sub-series here. And I mean, Epic, at this point, it's backs against the wall. It's win or go home, do or die, as we like to say. And so it all comes down to potentially this here.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Now, dive into a little bit of strategy here. What did you see not working for Epic in this previous sub-map that you might change up here in the second when their tournament lives are on the brink?
I mean, it's tough. Honestly, they had the first 50%. I felt like they were playing very, very well. They got a little bit spread out there, and we saw Jamondo get staggered at the end as well. It felt like they just couldn't ever fully regroup there, and so I'm not 100% sure it was necessarily a composition thing. It's just the kind of things fell apart during that beautiful chaos that we got to see on screen.
That's a great way to put it. Marvel Rivals, that beautiful chaos, man. Venger going on over to the way of the Cloak and Dagger here. See how this is utilized as we come into this. And really, I feel like those Terror Capes are the big defining factor for Cloak and Dagger players. Like, if you can land those.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one strategist I love to play, and I'll play all day. So I'm right there with you. I think Cloak and Dagger are a very great asset to a team when played correctly. You've got to really work that in and out, though. You can't get caught doing too much damage. You need to apply some, but speaking of damage, it's Nova. The 2K comes in, the BRB to get Punisher back on the feet, but Star-Lord, a Menace has the ult on deck. He might not even need to use it as Brute grabs and puts him in the prison.
Nicely done of just realizing the danger that they were in. Every AIMD healer just kind of looks at the ground and heals. Like, no point in trying to get damage off here. And I have to wonder how much value this Taco Beans Captain America is really providing. This is sort of what I was thinking going into this. Captain America is like a fantastic sustaining character, but when you dive into the backline, you have these two players on the other side, HBH and of course ASQ, they're paying attention to each other, and it's literally just like 2 or 3 shots from the other, and you're going to completely heal whatever damage that Taco Beans Captain America is really influencing early, especially if you can get the first in there.
If he can get in and out, there is, you know, he can be a menace in the backline. You really have to use that shift speed punch combo that really allows him to kind of pick that up and be an annoyance. But you're right. I think AIMD is just doing such a good job of paying attention to each other. And maybe it speaks volumes for the team comms over there, because they've done a good job of turning around when they need to, helping out the other supports and applying that pressure when they're capable of. So already at 60% here in this one.
An aggressive one here, but the Luna Ultimate answers from the backside, and of course, that one comes out from the Emma Frost. Here comes the Executioner. That is a lot of damage getting pushed all the way through, and they don't even need it. Deadlock sucks with the assist, but it's really the other members of Epic that gets that out, and the res will not change the outcome of that team fight. Is that 80% I'm looking at?
Yeah, 80% on the board here as Epic finally able to take control and look to gather some percentage of their own. For AIMD, really, they just have to play smart rivals here, look to build up a couple ults, and then they could pressure in. They've got some time and percentage to work with here, so they don't really have to feel the pressure just yet.
No, they really don't, and that's the thing. We talk about momentum. Well, let's talk about that battle between the ears here first, because, like, you gotta know, obviously, tournament lives on the Lord. Gaming's here, and with that one, now going to try and assist the healing and the damage. There will be HBH until we switch on to Epic's perspective.
On board here with the Invisible Woman. Now Epic beginning to make a bit of a stand. The contention comes in toward the point, but Taco is able to find that first pick onto Gaming. So Star-Lord already out of the way. Mantis falls as well, and maybe Blue Crimson on this Brute has been a little bit of a benefit here for the squad.
They really, really have. Now just badgering and moving this front line wherever they really wanted. Blue Crimson has been playing this group player to an absolute T, Hot Sauce. Now taking it on high. Try to, yeah, get this corner damage in, invite these DPS players in, and then just put walls behind them, right? Simple 1-2.
We are
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Strangling Prison as well, so you bait him in, you pop the Prism, you wall them off, and you let the rest of your team continue to knock them down. And it's Nova, the 2K, and AIMD looking to turn it around. Taco Beans gets a consolation prize, but Nova on a tear, finds Finger as well. Keldor trying to fight back for the revive, comes in, Gaming, HP, find the picks, and all of a sudden, Epic may be in some trouble.
Yeah, Taco got to get out of there. Tries to get that big health kit down bottom here, and definitely would have taken this lift up, gotten with the rest of their team. But 87-88, and your Captain America is coming back. This is not good breaks here for your Epic squad.
Cool. Through the Strangling Prison.
Bro.
Dark has the ult here as well. The overtime fuse is lit. Epic is really just going to have to pull out all the stops here. They've only got a couple ults to work with. We see that invisible boundary up here as well. Can they find something off of it?
Oh, that's a lot, but the Luna Snow ultimate is out. Can't be enough. Wall comes up, and the Punisher goes down. Trying to find the damage in here, and that's super low targets on the other side. A couple of gears will be the only players involved, and a fantastic CC away right there. Super low, 2 down. The Groot has been taken down here, but the BRB will be back. Last gas situation here for the side of Epic Systems. Last couple, that's a Groot and a healer, a chip, a chair, and a dream here for the Epic Systems squad.
I'm not even sure how Epic's still out here. I felt like it was AIMD who had a ton of picks, but all of a sudden it's Epic who has more members on toward this point in contention. We see him duking it out, but Taco swapping toward the Doctor Strange here as well, off the Captain America, and all of a sudden Epic able to take it right back here at the end.
AIMD down a couple of players here. Soulbound comes out. They should be able... Nah, that's the Luna Snow. That's another big pick here. Fight as they might. This feels like the last after, because after this, of course, the respawns will change in duration.
Continue to put the pressure there. It's a bit of a quick res as they try to buy some more time, but the wick of the overtime fuse will dwindle away. Epic, a lot of trouble initially, but they fight back here, and well, they'll take the Imperial Institute of Science. We're going to head on to the Warrior Falls, and well, Epic is going to need this one here if they want to push us all the way to a best of 7.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And hey, even if this goes the way of AIMD, at least they went down to the third sub-map right here. Now, let's take a look at Epic, and I really do feel like the player that you're looking at as of right now, Deadlock sucks, and their turret play here, Hot Sauce, won the absolute day for Epic. It wasn't so much the ultimates, right? Once this comes out, everybody is just going to look at the Punisher, especially when you have a Groot on the other side. The first little bit of that damage will be negated. Everybody's just going to pour as much as you can into this turret, right? Into that ulting Punisher. But the turret play from up on high was completely different. Now, that'll be a little bit of a different story and a little bit of that just geographical difference here for this third sub-map.
One final chance here to push them further, excuse me. I think Blue Crimson, too, on this Groot just has been a monster of a change. We will see Taco bounce back toward Captain America here as well. Or on the Magic, trying to get some type of dive comp, maybe potentially toward that back line.
I'm not against it. I'm wondering where else this kind of goes in with this Dark Passenger is going to have to point some damage at odd angles just to get the advantage of healing onto this. Well, there's the first and there's the second. Blue Crimson dusted as well, and the dive was a good decision.
At least the BRB brings back Groot, so they get the tank back on the battlefield. They have to do it, of course, without their Punisher, but you see the Invisiwoman has that invisible boundary up here as well. Potentially could find a fight on point, but Blue Crimson going down could spell disaster for this first fight.
They got CC pulled on in there from this Invisible Woman, from Askew, who, I mean, again, you kind of mentioned earlier, right? Healers don't get the love as often. They don't get that MVP, that play of the game as often. Q has been playing out of their minds.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the cohesive unit here of AIMD, you know, nothing short of those first 2 games have been near flawless, and so able to continue to do so. They've got 5 ultimates on deck here as well, so if they can stagger these out 2 and 3, win the next couple fights, I mean, we could potentially look at them closing it out, but Epic's going to sneak in here and almost steal the point away.
Okay, so that was rather close. Now having to get back to this one, it's going to be Deadlock Sucks finding their counterpart, BRB, bringing them back. Here comes the Executioner. Fantastic counter! HBH playing it to a T.
And they continue to pressure forward now. HB finding that pick on Keldir. SQ right in the background. Look at all the space they're eating up, almost locking them in toward the spawn side here. They did expend quite a bit of ult, so now Epic has 4 to work with themselves. Can they find a way to pressure out? Because at 70%, you don't have a ton of time.
You really have to come back at this one, because you said it. You want this to go up to 99, and if you lose it, you lose it, right? There are 4 ultimates on the other side. That's an expected outcome. Nothing, and I mean nothing for AIMD as of right now. Nova is the closest. Now, that prison is fantastic, but without it, no. Immediately fantastically done, but not in time for gaming's here.
Avenger able to ult on toward the site and at least contest. They'll be able to capture the point here, but almost to 99%. Really, it is kind of that final fight territory. If AIMD can find a way to win one more battle, they should be able to lock it down, but Deadlock sucks the 2K. The BRB, Taco Beans, everybody standing tall here near the point.
Maybe a switch coming out from Nova. They used ultimate way late right there. No, it was just a bad decision. Okay. Kind of surprising there, the way that Nova's been playing that character really well at this point. We've kind of developed something to expect from them as far as quality, and that was just a panic ultimate, no other way around it.
Yeah, I mean, Nova's been, you know, it happens to the best of us. They've been playing near flawlessly for the entirety of this one, so hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt them, but I'd like to see him save up some ults. You've got so much time, so much percentage to give here. Build up 2 or 3, make sure you have it in your favor, and then pressure in, win that final fight, look to close it out.
I can't wait too long, though, because Epic is flirting with 3 of them as of right now. That is a lot right there, and Gaming gets it done. No ultimate necessary. Now, Mag down bottom, Blue Crimson getting it done on the Mag right here and takes down the DPS. It'll be a little bit of AIMD DPS, mostly negated here, but then they immediately pay with their Mag lives. Our BRB will bring them back to AIMD full 6 as of right now, and the Invisible Woman ultimate will be gone in just a second. Then I have to wonder what you are going to do, Jamanda, with nothing. No other ultimates on the board here until Deadlock has something to say about it. This took it answered very quickly. Where's it coming? I don't even think they know exactly where this is coming from. Eat it right in the Mag and then give it back to him on the other side. A bunch right there. And everybody from AIMD will respond to the call. A turret, just a simple turret here from Gaming's here might be enough.
I mean, Punisher just so good at putting a hailstorm of bullets downfield. They did a great job of mitigating the ult on the other side from Deadlock. We'll see him swap to Doctor Strange, but it's not enough to get the portal back. AIMD does it. They stumbled in the first 2. They get 4 in a row, and they are your corporate charity champions for the 2025 Marvel Rivals Finals.
Fantastic. 2,100 plus donated in the names of these AIMD players. That is Dark Passenger, Boris, Sarah 2, Profire, Hazard, as Q, Nova, and several other players that were able to swap in and out of this game. Final victory, AIMD, $1,080 still getting awarded to the players of Epic Systems in the form of charity donated to the Doctors Without Borders organization.
Man, Nova, 46K blocked, but you look at Blue Crimson had 57 on the other side. I mean, this was a real knock 'em out, drag 'em out kind of battle here between these two teams. And I mean, we saw a great start from another Epic victory, winning more rounds than they had potentially in any of their other showings. But AIMD, even though they stumbled, they were able to lock it in. It was 4 straight in a row, and you nailed it. I mean, both of these teams are winners here. They're taking home a nice cash prize toward their charity of choice, and you absolutely love to see it.
You have to. You have to. Actively work, making the world a better place right there, as well as playing a little bit of esports. Fantastically done. That's exactly the way we do it here at CEA, the Corporate Esports Association. Taking a look just at the numbers here, I have to continue to give kudos here to ASQ. 40K healing with 2 other healers on the squad. Obviously, what that means, even if they weren't playing the Penny Parker, would obviously can heal herself in a lot of ways. You have 2 other healers that are taking this healing away still with just a hair shy of 40K healing across these 3 submaps.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely insane, honestly. And what a fun day it was. I mean, we got to see a lot of great action. It was a decently long series, 6 of 7 games, so you certainly can't complain about that. But, you know, always a pleasure to be in the booth with you, Tugboat. I know we got a lot of great people working behind the scenes here as well.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Specifically, that is Gatago as well as Upmind producing away, making our jobs as casters that much easier. I want to give a big shout out to the CEA and everything that they do, as well, of course, to Amazon Luna for making competitions just like this one possible. But I believe that's going to be about it from me, Hot Sauce. Big shout out to AIMD and a salutations to Epic Systems. Still coming in second is nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah, and again, a big thank you to Corporate Esports Association for allowing us to come on here and yell at the mic and have fun with everybody as we wrap up the Corporate Charity Championship, at least for the Marvel Rivals section. We strongly encourage you all to hit that follow button so you can stay up to date. Be sure to click that notification as well so you can know that when we're going live, we're having fun events like this. But as always, we'll take a quick moment again to thank Gatago, Upmind, Mike, and everybody else working very diligently behind the scenes, and all of you hanging out with us in chat as well. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. My name is Hot Sauce. Again, that legend to my digital left is FBI Tugboat. You guys have been amazing. We hope to see you back here for the next one. But until then, take care and have a wonderful night.
You see